Red, red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? To my psychosis friend, down and begin again. His eyes are broken in, and I don't feel the same. Red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? Me, I grew, and I knew, if I do, and I do anything that you would say, but now you try to be red when you could be them. I do. I think you threw your pains away. I do. I think you threw your pains away. I do. I think you threw your pains away. I do. I think you threw your pains away. I'm real. I'm real, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm real. I'm real, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm real. I'm real, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm real. I'm real. Hey, I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. just wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.
My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Let's go. Radiate. Yo. This never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. You're radiant. You're radiant. Yo. All right. Dude, how we doing? Thursday night, people.
Freedom.
Let's go. You depend, so you always win. If you arrest yourself again, I'll help you clean up the mess. Yo.
Misdirection, you know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy, I'm just lost in
my reflection. Pay attention, you never will. Making you smile, let's go. Do we love to see it? I will overanalyze and fall victim. My venom lowers. Time to get to know myself.
I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection.
Pay attention, yeah, you never will. So you always will. I'll help you clean up the mess. Here we go. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. like I did. Let's go. Time to do the self-work. All right. Dude, self-work is good. Dude, the NFL draft was tonight. The Raiders got themselves a quarterback. Here we go. I just want to be free. Let's go. No, 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 no. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. And I'm made. Free, yeah, yeah, yeah. Freedom, yeah. Freedom, yeah. Oh! Free, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, any word on that pine box? No, we have put a request in for the pine box. Unfortunately, our pine box request has yet to be honored. All righty. There we go. Dude. So what's new? Dude, what a weird day. Like, you know, like today feels like it was like deviant day in the Trump admin, you know, doesn't it? Like Trump deviancy day. Nominate me for a Grammy. All right, dude, that's one of the things that's weird about like when I think about musically, because like I was in bands that made great music and we did stuff that could have very easily been on the radio. And we could have been one of the hugely successful bands. And for whatever reason, it just never happened. And it's weird because it like one of the things I feel like I discovered between music and then later on with Fortnite and now with politics is like you can do something you love and if it's not going to happen, there's nothing you can do to make it happen, right? You know what I mean? And then the inverse is if something is going to happen, there's almost nothing you can do to prevent it from happening, right? You know? So that's what's really weird. It's like, it's either going to take or it's not going to take, but it's not really... It's not really the individual necessarily making it happen. And that's one of the things that I think, guys, is so weird about success is once someone becomes a success, we start with this natural assumption that that person just planned it, created it, just willed it, right? And they get treated like this otherworldly, like, oh, wow, they just knew exactly how to pull this off. But I just don't believe it happens that way. I just think that, like, you know, people do these things and some shit just takes off to the moon and some shit just doesn't. And you know, that's not to say that you shouldn't work hard, right? Because, of course, working hard and making connections and doing the work increases those chances, right? But sometimes, though, guys, it's like the weird shit, okay? Do you like Typo Negative? I'm not really familiar with their music. I've heard the name, but I don't know that I've heard any of their music. Should put a link to their music in the music channel on Discord. Dude, let's go, Marshall. Thank you. Like, Fortnite's a great example, guys. I mean, I started streaming in the summer of 2019, okay? And by Christmas, I was averaging like 30 viewers. And then I switched to these Fortnite fashion shows that were kind of hot. And I did switch my stream time to where I was streaming at the same time as the other fashion show streamers because I kind of knew I had more personality than them. So I figured if other people were watching their fashion shows, those people would then find me and I might steal all their audiences. And that kind of happened. Like pretty soon I had like 100 viewer average. And then the pandemic happened in 2020. And then I had like 150 viewer average and I got partner. And then I switched again from fashion shows in the summer to doing the pro Fortnite thing. And then I did this FaZe Clan thing that I like advanced in. And so by Christmas time, I had like 300 viewer average. And I was like doing really well. I thought, oh shit, this is going crazy. And then in the beginning of 2021, I started making a couple YouTube videos every week. And then you know what happened? Just random chance. I was in a tournament. I followed some guys that I thought were my teammates into their box. And they turned around and shot me. And I was like, oh shit, I followed the wrong guys. Like I just made this brain-headed move that I didn't think anything of. I had made many stupid moves before in the game of Fortnite, but that particular clip got shared by like every Fortnite streamer in the world. And next thing you know, like 2 months later, I had like 2,000 viewers. And like, I didn't do anything. I literally didn't do anything but like play a tournament and make a mistake. And next thing you know, I was like, all my shit was blowing up. I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like I didn't have an engaging personality. And when I blew up, sure, they wanted to watch me and shit. But like that attention, like I did not create that attention. That was just an absolute random accident. Dude, it was just like, you know, I mean, I literally didn't think anything of it. And like 6 hours after that thing, that night, all my fucking socials were just exploding, dude. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I had gained like 4,000 Twitter followers or something. I was like, dude, what happened? Nothing happened today. Dude, right? Just random. Okay? Totally random. Isn't that weird? You know? I mean, all I did was I moved to different things every couple months, right? Until I found that like sweet spot of doing the competitive shit. But I guess it's just random, you know? That's why, like, I don't know. It gets weird. It gets weird with us, I think, in capitalism. That's why somebody like, you know, 𝗙𝗪𝗏 blows up. And then next thing you know, she's got a podcast. And then she's doing a crypto scam because it's like, whoa, what did she do, dude? She didn't do anything. You know what I mean? You know? She went out and got drunk one night. And next thing you know, she's got a podcast. I'm like, and a crypto scam. Dude, yikes. I mean, dude, virality is pretty silly, boss. It is. It is pretty silly. Dude, you should start streaming. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Who is 𝗙𝗪𝗏? Oh, 𝗙𝗪𝗏 is, you know, she just went out one night and made something. What made me pick Fortnite? Yeah, so I didn't really pick Fortnite, like what had happened. I mean, I'll tell the story real quick because maybe you'll get something from this. But so basically, I quit my job in 2016 to start a film career. And for 3 years, dude, I tried so hard. I made a short film that got rejected by every film festival. I, made a TV show that ended up on Amazon Prime. I was going down to LA, taking meetings, trying to get in a writer's room. Nobody wanted to touch me. I just could not find a career. For 3 years, I was like living on credit cards and I was struggling. Like, it was not working out, man, even though I wanted it. I was like trying to write screenplays. I was really struggling. Then what happened is in around 2019, 2018, I started getting addicted to Star Wars Battlefront. Okay. I had a kid who was like 10 years old. And so he was playing video games. And so he and I would play Star Wars Battlefront. And I got very addicted to that game. And then he started playing Fortnite in 2017 with his friends, right? End of 2017. And I would watch him because there was dancing in it. And so I got really intrigued by the game because of the dancing. So instead of me coming in and kicking him off the PS4 so I could play Star Wars Battlefront, I would just watch him play Fortnite, and I was really enamored with the game. And then he talked me into trying to play it. Like, I didn't want to play it because I was afraid it was too complicated. And he was like, no, he's like, I can teach you, you'll get it. And so I learned how to play Fortnite. And then I started playing Fortnite in February of 2018. Then what happened was my son, he had 2 homes. And so I started using Fortnite as like a way to hang out with my son. Like when he was at his mom's, we would play duos together. And it was a way for me to spend a couple hours with him every day when he wasn't at my house. And I got very attached to like playing with a teammate. And then in the early 2019, he quit. And I was like heartbroken that he quit. And you know, and I kept playing, but by then I was so used to having a teammate that instead of playing alone, I would fill with random people, and there would be random people in the headset. And then what happened was everybody I played with would hear me talk, and they would start saying like, are you streaming right now? You sound like a streamer. Oh, you should be a streamer. And so everybody kept telling me I should be a streamer. And, you know, I had been watching Ninja and Tfue on Twitch, and I was like, yeah, I think I could probably do that. And so then that summer, I started streaming. I was like, fuck it. I just started, you know, instead of writing screenplays, I just stopped the movie making and started streaming 50 hours a week on a PS4 in my living room. And like 2 years later, I paid off all our debts. And like, dude, it's crazy. It was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? It was just random fucking lightning strike, dude. All I did was the people in the headset said, you sound like a streamer. And so I went and became a streamer. You know, I did what I was told by random fucking gamer kids. That was it. But I did really like Fortnite, though. I don't know. There's something about Fortnite that I liked it. You know, I did. It's like, it's very, like, highly addicting. You know what I'm saying? Highly addicting. Did I pay off the house also? No, the house was already paid off, right? I paid off the remodeling. Like, we had spent a hunk of money remodeling it. But the house had been paid off. But I paid off all of the, like, we gutted it to the studs and rebuilt it. And so I paid all that off. And the years of, like, living on cards. So it was pretty good. It was, for a while there, for like 6 months in 2021, Fortnite was very profitable, you know. But then, you know what I'm saying? Dude, you spend $400 on Fortnite for your son? Let's go. All shit. Dude, yeah, dude, my son's going to be 21 soon. He's like just a little over a week, dude. He's going to be 21. It's crazy. It's crazy how that goes. But you're old. What game should you do? I don't know, man. Whatever you like, right? You got to do something you like. Dude, I loved Fortnite, though. Like, I was, like, very addicted to it. I was very, very, like, it was like high level of addiction. PlayStation 5 went up to $1,000. Yeah, I heard somebody talking about that. That's insane, dude. For a console, There's no way, dude. Son will be 21 next month. Let's go. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Bryce is going to be 21 next month. And he is living in Brooklyn. Let's go, dude. And I think he's loving it, right? It was a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit of a culture shock, but I think now he's really starting to dig it. Let's go. Yeah, dude, him and his girlfriend moved to Brooklyn. He had never even been to New York City, dude. Dude, that's bold, right? He had never been to New York City, never even visited, and he just packed up a moving van with his girlfriend and fucking boom, there you go. Off he went. Dude, I think that's pretty crazy, right? Why Brooklyn? I mean, they just went to New York City and they ended up in Brooklyn because it was close in and they could afford it, right? But they wanted to go to New York City. His girlfriend has a sibling who went to Columbia, who was there. So they were going, right, on an adventure. Yeah, we do play Fortnite every Saturday on the old Twitch channel, right? So I will be playing Saturday. But that's my little story. That's my thing, though, guys. This is why, guys, you ready? This is why I say, find yourself a creative passion that you just love the process, okay? Because you cannot guarantee success if you're looking for money, right? You just can't. So if it's something you love the process, it enriches you. If you do it for 10 years and there's no success, you haven't lost anything. You're not like less off. You had that 10 years of this enjoyable process. And then when you eventually find something that you just hit that zeitgeist, it's going to become something. But a lot of times the rewards are not monetary. Like, for example, even with the music, I never really made any money playing music. But guys, listen to the music. Look at the music we listen to here every night. I have a body of work that spans like 20 years that will be like with me forever, okay? And I toured the country. I saw every fucking state in America. I played in every major city in America with few exceptions, right? There's only like 4 or 5 major cities in this entire country I have not played music in. And even though I never made any money, like the experience of rocking and rolling in every nook and cranny of the country was like, bro, I wouldn't trade that for anything. That's almost more valuable than money, really. I mean, I feel like that was, that couple of years was like extraordinary. So yeah, you just never know, man. I think finding that thing that just like enriches you is where it's at. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But all right. So politics. What do we got? Dude, what a fucking disaster today was. All right, so let's start with some of the bookmark shit, okay? Like, I think we should start with the HHS girl, okay? Dude, you ready? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, we're going to look at Laura Loomer, but we got to start here, guys. Oh my God, dude. Okay, we got to start here, dude. Remember? Fucking dude, right? Dude, Noem, okay? Madison Sheahan. Did you hear about Madison Sheahan? Okay, so, I mean, I just think this shit is crazy because it is just more of, right? It is just more of the dysfunction, okay? It's more of the crazy dysfunction that exists inside the Trump admin. Now, you may have remembered her. Let's see if we can find some information on her, okay? Right. So hold on. She was the deputy ICE director. Okay. And let me find an old video. Let me see if I can find an old video. All right. You gotta see her on camera. Like they're all using the same photo. But let's go back to, yeah, dude. I mean, dude. Oh, that's why I spelled it wrong. All right. I was like, bro, is Elon fucking with this shit? All right. So let's go back. All right. So here she is. Okay. This is an old video of hers.
Our officers are able to use our intelligence and targeting packages to go after the worst of the worst. Anybody that's been convicted of any crimes, we're able to target them, locate them, and ultimately remove them from the community.
Okay, so she was the deputy ICE director, and she was another spokesman. Now remember, Kristi Noem had two main spokesmen. Okay, Kristi Noem had Trisha McLaughlin. Remember Trisha from Ohio? Who quit. She resigned after her and her husband stole like some money. Like her husband got one of those contracts out of the $220 million. And then Trisha McLaughlin just said, I'm out. Smell you later. So basically her and her husband looted some money from government contracts. And then she's flying around in private jets. Trisha quits. Okay. Then you have Madison Sheahan here, who stayed on as the deputy ICE director, always going on Fox News, being a real hardliner, being real snarky. Well, we find out that there's another sex scandal going on, okay? That Madison Sheahan, okay, right? Deputy ICE director Madison Sheahan allegedly controlled and sexually pursued a 19-year-old subordinate. So she has a staffer who's 19 years old, and she's doing the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 on her. So we got Madison Sheahan over here doing the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 and getting a little, with the staffers, okay? And so she initiated a secret relationship with a 19-year-old junior staffer after inviting her into her bed during a campaign party. Then she became her direct supervisor and was like supervising her, having a work relationship while also secret love affair. Okay. And she allegedly dictated what she was allowed to wear, was like screaming at her and berating at her. Apparently it was allegedly abusive and wouldn't let her move. Okay. When the young woman went out with friends in a bodysuit, she had a fucking freak out. She had a complete breakdown episode. Okay, and this is the woman who was running the ICE operations. You see her here, like hanging out with Noem. She was like Noem's right-hand person. Okay, isn't it crazy? All right, isn't that wild? So we have, think about this, guys. Think about DHS, okay? The Department of Homeland Security. We got Kristi Noem having an affair with their chief of staff for like 8 years. Corey Lewandowski, she's using money to get like private jets. She's flying around with her lover, having affairs. He's berating, airline workers, right? She is like looting money out of a $220 million slush fund. Her assistant, Trisha of Ohio, is looting money out of the slush fund. Her husband gets a contract of out of $100 million purse. Then Trisha resigns, takes the millions, leaves with her husband. Her other assistant, Madison Sheahan, is having a controlling affair with a 19-year-old staffer, berating her and basically being an abusive girlfriend to her. Okay. And then Kristi Noem's husband is filling his tits with balloon animals and paying $40,000 to a dominatrix. Dude, That is our Homeland Security Department, guys. What in the hell are we doing? I mean, I'm serious. What in the Sam Hill are we doing in the United States government? Okay, yeah, look at Kristi Noem, dude. Kristi's like, dude, what are we doing? Oh my God. And the crazy thing is, though, okay, you ready? Look at this. She's running for Congress. Dude, she's running for Congress. Now, is she going to drop out? I mean, I would hope she is going to drop out. If not, she's going to lose. But isn't that crazy? She is running for Congress while having a controlling, abusive relationship with a 19-year-old staffer. Do you remember what we talked about like yesterday or the other day, where it was like these people are just blinded by ego? Like they are so egocentric and so sociopathic that they don't even think about the consequences of their behavior. Yeah, no self-awareness. They believe they exist in like some ulterior plane of, you know, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And there's never going to be any ramifications for them. Isn't that wild? Let's look at the Daily Mail article, shall we? Let's see if we find any extra details. Okay? Dude, it is crazy. Look at that. Look at this. Someone says you're saying teenagers in order to build a fake narrative. She was 19. And like, yeah, dude. Okay, so she was 19 and she was like, you know, right? She was 19, but like, dude, 19 is still a teenager. You're an adult, but you're not an adult enough to be like, you know, dating your boss at 19. Like, give me a fucking break, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, yes, 19. 19, right? But this person's like, oh, they're not Epstein age. Oh, they're not Epstein. All right, hold on. I'm going to find the Daily Mail article. We're going to get into this, okay? Oh, it looks like, dude, it looks like she resigned. Okay, it looks like she is. No. She. That was when she resigned from her post to run for Congress. Okay, I haven't heard if she has dropped out. I thought it was saying she dropped out, but no. So let me see here. All right, so I'm gonna fucking open the Daily Mail article up here. Okay. Can we get the dance party started? We can, DL. Let's go. Dude, let me do that right now. Fine box dysfunction dance party, bro. Let's go. There it is. All right. So here it is. Okay. All right. So there we go, guys. There it is. Hold on, I wanna have a marker here. All right. So that's where we got. Okay, perfect. So, right, says lesbian sex secrets of Kristi Noem's ICE leader. Ex-lover claims jealous rages over men, screaming through hotel walls, and vile tight bodysuit demand. Oh, Lord, Lord have mercy. Dude, Pine Box Dance Party, Ella, let's go. Dude, it is just crazy. It is just crazy to me, guys, before we get into it, how these people are like beyond fucking toxic, okay? They are beyond toxic, guys, and dysfunctional, and they're looting, and they are so sexually deviant, but at the same time, they are like the biggest moralizers. Oh, Christians, morals, the good guys, you know, you have to like, you know, those demon Democrats. And it's like, bro, they're like, dude, if anybody's a demon here, I don't believe in this demon shit. But if anyone is a demon in this equation, it is these insane, abusive motherfuckers. These Epstein class MFers that are running around, stealing everyone's money, lying to everyone, living double lives, right? Being on camera, talking about their morals and their goodness. As soon as the camera's off, they're like abusing everyone they can get their hands on. I mean, if there's a demon, it's definitely the two-faced, like hiding weirdos, okay? Right? Absolutely. The demons are running the show. So it says boozy house parties are a rite of passage for young staffers grinding through the final stretch of a campaign. For dozens of Ohio operatives and Trump re-election hands, that night came in October 2020 inside a cramped one-bedroom house north of Columbus. They tried to light the fire pit out back for a while. As the night grew colder, everyone pulled inside. They drank late, eventually ran out of places to sleep. Some took the couch, others claimed the floor, a few passed out in the basement. Among the attendees was a 19-year-old female junior staffer. She had just moved in with the hostess and had nowhere to sleep. Dude, Sunola, let's go! Thank you for the membership, dude. 𝗙𝗏𝗏, deviants and grifters. They're the demons. They are the demons. Dude, sinful. A demon would be more honest. You're right. A demon would probably be more upfront about the whole thing. So the hostess, Madison Sheahan, then 23, invited her into bed. According to the young staffer's account, by morning, a secret relationship had begun, one that would shape the next 2 years of her life in ways she could not yet foresee. All right? So, dude, this started like all the way back in fucking 2020, man. That is so crazy. This started years ago, okay? And she is now running for Congress, okay? So it started years ago. And it started during his re-election campaign. So she was 19. I guess they dated until they were 21. Before announcing her bid to run for Congress last January, Sheahan started working for the Trump election campaign during the 2020 cycle. Okay. Let me see. Who are these pictures? Oh, there's Brian Noem. Dude, there's Madison Sheahan right there. There's Trump. So let's see what this other instance is. What is the Discord? It's down in the description, right? In 2020, the girl was 13. No. In 2020, the girl was 19. It started when it was 19. So the whole relationship, I think, is old. Dude, Lady B, let's go. It looks like the whole relationship was old. Okay? So what started in secret quickly spiraled into a relationship where Sheahan, then a senior official working for the Ohio Republican Party, paid through the Trump campaign's operation, exerted control over a young partner in ways that extend to something as basic as what she was allowed to wear when going out with friends. So you ready for this? So this is really creepy because essentially what's happening, you ready? Think about this. I mean, this in my mind, this makes it even worse. This woman was a high-level staffer in the Ohio Republican Party. She started sexing up her junior staffer, brand new to politics, not even 20 years old, right? Starts a secret relationship with her. It gets abusive and controlling and whatnot, goes on for several years. After that, she gets hired to be the deputy ICE director. Now, there's no fucking way that they vet people. There is no way that the people who hired her did not know about this affair. There is absolutely no way because it seemed like people already knew about it by the time it ended. So despite her having this abusive 𝗙𝗟𝗏𝗏 type affair, she still got an agency job from Noem. I mean, now, when you think about it, I think they did care. But you know why they cared? They had something to hold over her. I think that's why, guys. They probably hired her knowing she had this dirt, and then they own her, okay? Now it's like, hey, oh, you're running for Congress? You fuck around, we're gonna rat you out, right? I mean, that is kind of a big one for them, to have somebody that they control. Like, you gotta wonder, does Trump have like dirt on all of these major Republicans? You just imagine he must. It really must be why they've ingratiated themselves like that. You know, it's gotta be, okay? So then, so she was the state election operations director. All right, crazy. And her lover's boss, okay? She offered to let the college student move into her house. Within a few weeks, their relationship began, which, like, that's pretty creepy too, guys. It is. That's pretty creepy that she has a junior staffer and she says, hey, you want to come live in my house? And then, hey, you want to come sleep in my bed? And then that staffer becomes her girlfriend, secret girlfriend. I mean, that's kind of reeking of grooming, right? You know, she invited her to move in with the intention of, like, getting in on it. I mean, man, it's so grody. Okay, so at one point in November 2020, Sheahan briefly became the woman's supervisor. Okay, their sexual relationship followed them both through the 2020 campaign into the Georgia Senate runoffs in December, where they worked in Georgia and did not live together. Okay, Sheahan was in Buckhead. The younger woman was an hour away, right? It was during this stretch that Sheahan became toxic, started freaking out publicly. There was an Atlanta episode where the ex-lover and a group of friends went out. She was wearing black jeans and a bodysuit and sent Sheahan a photo, and then she flipped out and like went off on her. So I guess there was some abusiveness after they broke up. She gets on the phone and, you know, they had some crazy like phone screaming convo. Sheahan was not jealous of the other women in the group. She was jealous of the men. So then maybe she was like worried that this woman was not really, like, maybe this woman's not even really, you know, that into women, right? If she's worried about the men, maybe there's something going on that she was like, you know, I don't know, dude. Oh yeah, the younger woman had never been in a relationship like this before, right? And yada, yada, yada. The woman believes Sheahan's insecurities regarding her own sexuality played a role. Well, of course they did. A lot of the problems with our relationship was that she's not comfortable in her own skin. It's okay to be gay, but I don't think that's something she has accepted. Look at that. So even the lover is saying that Sheahan's hiding of her sexuality and being like not accepting of her own sexuality was fueling the toxicity in the relationship. And I mean, also probably why she's a Republican. Like, guys, the more we do this, the more we go through the Benny Johnsons and you know, the Chad Biancos, the more I realize that I think 85% of Republican men are gay. I think gay men who cannot accept being gay simply become Republicans. I think that's what it is. If they're gay and they can't deal with it, they end up being Republicans. That's how Republican men are born. I swear to you, they're all just gay. They're all just self-shaming gays. That's it. That's the secret, guys. All of them. Or they're grapists, or they're both. Right? They're either grapists that know that that's the only place where they can grape and be, you know, have a career, or they are like repressed gays. That's it. Okay? And then there were other forms of control. So Sheahan did not comment. There were other forms of control. Sheahan was particular about the way she looked, the way she dressed. She'd be furious if she smoked. Okay? Public affection was off limits. At work events and professional settings, she had to pretend like nothing existed. So it was all on the DL. So she was hiding the fact that she was having a lesbian relationship, right? Like, I mean, you would normally hide it, but if it was like a non-gay relationship, like some of the staffers would have known, yeah, this is very grooming. For me, the moving her into the house and then inviting her into the bed and then dating her, it was like grooming from the start. Okay, Sheahan went on to be Noem's political director during her South Dakota governorship. She was the ICE deputy director in March. Okay, and look at this, though. A senior DHS official told Daily Mail that Sheahan often targeted female staffers at ICE who she viewed as disloyal to her. Okay, so she continued like kind of like being abusive with women, even in her DHS role. She'd always try to be the alpha in the room. There could never be a stronger woman. Madison was intimidated by strong women. She'd always push to get women fired. Crazy. Okay. And senior official also noted Sheahan would act as though she had the full power and backing of Noem to other staffers. So she would like act like you got to go along with me or Noem's going to be on it. That shit is really bad too, guys. That type of abusive manipulation, that is like serious power issues. I mean, serious power issues. She was known to verbally abuse staff and aides, threatening to rip their faces off. She resigned in January, okay, to run for Congress, a primary coming up on May 5th. Okay. So the relationship was several years ago. And her Ohio campaign manager said, I can speak with authority that no such relationship existed. So now she's trying to deny that the relationship existed. All right. So it's going to be interesting, right? How do you fall under that spell? I mean, dude, shit just happens, boss. I hope anyone fired by her gets sued now. Yeah, dude, let's go, day trader. Dude, I think, you know, the thing about this, guys, is some of this has to do with the workplace, okay? It's like politics is particularly complicated where it's like a very insular group, okay? Because when you're in politics, right, the enemies are, you know, the Democrats or the Republicans. You have these enemies and everybody's like looking for dirt, and it's a very like foxhole-ish kind of experience, right? So everybody's really tight knit, but because of the trust level involved inside campaigns, you have to be like no complaints. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You have to be like no complaints, like you put up with everything because you have to be known as trustworthy and solid and you can keep secrets, right? I mean, it's kind of a business where keeping your mouth shut, keeping secrets under interrogation, not letting anything slip is a huge part of the job. So because it is a culture of like silence and protecting information, it is rife with abuse, okay? Because people know that they can abuse and nobody can really say anything because they're worried that their political career is going to end, right? If the person above you is deeply connected and you make them mad, you will never work again, okay? It is like very, very insular. Once you get a reputation of somebody who can't be trusted, you're never, ever working again, you know? So it is like just one of those spaces where the culture almost encourages abuse. And they're like every really power dominant culture has that, whether it's politics or tenured professors at a college or, you know, directors and producers and studio heads in the entertainment industry, record executives, CEOs, you know what I mean? Anytime you're in that like high power structure where the people up at the top have like career ending control, you know, it becomes really, you know, it can get real toxic real quick, man. You know, it sucks, dude. It does. Dude, that is crazy. So now, look at this shit though. Okay? Dude, look at this. Urban Meyer's endorsing her. Whoopsie. Look at this.
Hi, I'm Coach Urban Meyer, and I spent a lifetime on the sidelines, competing, building great teams, and winning championships. So I know exactly what a winner looks like, and that's Madison Sheahan. She was a Buckeye athlete. She fought and she led.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Yo, Urban. You wanna revisit that? Dude, I know exactly what a winner looks like. She's abusive, secretly gay, and manipulating and grooming teenagers in her home while being a high-level Ohio Republican official. Dude, oh my God, bro. That is crazy, okay? That is insane, guys. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. All right. It will be interesting to see how this plays out, guys. I would imagine, okay? And I would imagine, guys, that dude, and I mean, look at this though. You ready? So she was big about how, you know, we're getting the worst of the worst off the street. So in central Ohio, they arrested 240 people under Madison Sheahan, and less than 7% had a criminal record. Okay? Dude, that's crazy. Okay? That means like 20 people had a criminal record out of the 240 they arrested, while she was saying the worst of the worst. Now, she's denying this, okay? And she is saying that this relationship never happened.
I think this past week has been a historic success. This is President Trump's all-of-government approach. We're taking every resource we have in the federal government, working beside the city of D.C. and the D.C. police to be able to effectuate change, get the worst of the worst off the street, and use all of our investigative officers.
See, I don't know why she doesn't accept the fact that she's gay. It's pretty obvious that, like, dude, my gaydar always went off with this woman. I don't understand why Republicans hide this shit. You know, just live it up. But I'm curious to see what happens, because when is the Ohio primary? May 5th? Oh shit, dude. So the Ohio primary is in 10 days. Yikes, dude. All right. It's going to be interesting to see if she resigns. I don't think she's going to win, but dude, that is crazy, bro. Oh shit, dude. Dude, are people like putting, oh, they are. Dude, all of her tweets now. Oh my God, dude. All of her tweets now are everybody's in there just, dude, she had like no interaction on her campaign account. And now all her tweets are the junior staffer thing, dude. That's hilarious, bro. Every single thing is just her junior staffer. Dude, every tweet. Right? Oh, shit, boss. Good. Dude, I'm sorry, Madison. No Madison, no female Swalwells either. Right? Dude, see, you know the thing about it for me, guys, the thing that I don't like about it, I don't like the premeditation, okay? Was she a catcher on a softball team at OSU? I don't know. She was an athlete. It is my understanding Urban Meyer said she was an athlete. But guys, for me, it's the grooming aspect, okay? It's that premeditation that really bothers me, okay? That's the shit that really bothers me. It's bad enough when you're working with a staffer, you have a junior staffer, you're whatever, you get into some relationship, it's creepy, there's a weird power dynamic. But this woman invited the 19-year-old to live with her, okay? Like brings her into her home. And then shortly thereafter, oh, we had a party. Oh, you don't have anywhere to sleep. Come into my bed. And then like this torrid relationship starts. And then it becomes controlling and weird. And she's monitoring how she looks and dresses and playing the game of you got to act right when we're out in public. So it's all secret and mind-fucky. But it started with her, like bringing her into the home, And that is that like Christian grooming, guys. It is a profoundly Christian thing that happens. And they see it in youth groups all the time, okay? All the time in youth groups, right? The pastor picks a young woman. Oh, hey, why don't you start becoming part of this group? Dude, it's next thing you know, they're marrying him. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes. Dude, we need to grind for the dance party. Sorry, I got off topic, dude. We got 6 minutes, guys. Let's go. Dude, we'll see. That might be the end of her political campaign. I hope it is. But we do have 6 minutes. All right? So let's try to get this dance party secured. All right? See what we can get, baby. Oh, shit. Here it is. Time to grind. Let's go, Ingrain. Dude, let's go. 24. We got this. Dude, we got this. That's like 4 a minute. Let's go. Easy. Let's go, Ella. Let's go, Paula, please. You got it.
Hey!
Sakatara. 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 Let's go. Dance parties. Let's go, Jessica Tate. Let's go. Yes. There it is. All right. 4:45. 22 away. We got this. Oh, dude, and guys, the dirt is just getting started. There's more. We got Russell Brand coming up. We got Steve Witkoff's right? We got Steve Witkoff's son coming up. We got it all, dude. Baby Peach. Let's go, Baby Peach, dude. Let's go, DL. Hey, sukatada, sakatada, sakatada. All right, guys, let's go. 20 away. We're 1/3 of the way there. Dude, David Whiteacre. Let's go. Welcome back, boss. Dude, let's go dance party. Dude, Ella, let's go. Thank you. Oh, dude, let's go. Engrain, may Mendoza be with you? Yes, the Raiders' #1 draft choice, Fernando Mendoza. By the way, we're going to look at that clip, right? I love the relationship this guy has with his mom. Okay, his mom has MS, and so his mom is like confined to a wheelchair. But I don't know, dude. Mendoza's got a really special relationship with his mom, where it's like he doesn't like take her for granted. And like I could never have a relationship like that with my mom because my parents were too toxic. But I love that he has it. Right? I don't really like his Jesus-y shit, but like whatever, these athletes, they like that Jesus-y shit. We got this. We do got this. Let's go. All right, 3 minutes, guys. We're halfway there in 3 minutes. Let's go. Dude, we're on target. We're on target. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're going to pull it through. Pull it through. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Dude, I hope he doesn't flame out, though. Like 50% of the #1 draft choices don't work out. So it's still a crapshoot. Right? It is still a crapshoot. The one thing I like about him, though, is he is like fiercely competitive. Right? Because that's my thing. Like sometimes the Jesus-y football players will be like, well, whether we win or lose, I still have the Lord. And that I fucking hate, right? It's like, get off my football team if you have that kind of energy, right? Because you're not paid to worship the Lord. You're paid to fucking win games. Pine Box, let's go, Elf. You know what I mean? But he is like fierce. He is a fierce competitor who is like, I will fucking do anything to win. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like to see. I'll forgive the Jesus-y shit with that kind of attitude. All right, 2 minutes. Halfway there, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, dial it in. Dial it in. No, the 199, those count. Those count. Those all count. It's on a mobile, I think, is what the 199 is. But anything that's that color, that counts. Those are $2 ones. They're like mobile $2 or something. Let's go, Pine Box, Paula. Let's go dance, David Whiteacre. Let's go. You need a good dance off. Let's go, Jenna X-Ray Dragon. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Let's go, David Whiteacre. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're almost there. 1 minute. Last minute. 11 away. We got this. Oh, down to the wire. Down to the wire. Let's go. DL. I got one more. LFG. Let's go. Dude, David Whiteacre Paula says we got to dance for God. Yes, we do. Dude, sue me. Dance party on a Pine Box. Let's go. Dude, Elf. I need more Paula in your life. There you go. Dude, that's a Paula. Thank you, boss. Hey. David Whiteacre, Sakatada. The finish line is near. 20 seconds. Dude, let's go. 17 seconds. We're 6 away. Here we go. We're coming in strong. Oh, dude, I feel like I'm like an auctioneer or some shit. Dude, let's go. Whiteacre, 8 seconds. Oh, shit, dude. Baby Peach coming in. 4, 3, 2, crawling wind. And we are 4 away. We missed it. All right, 3 away. We're in the bonus minute. 2 away. Let's go, Engrain. We're 2 away, baby. Dos mas. And we lock it up. Oh, shit, dude. There we go. 1 away. Dance party on. We always do a bonus minute. Whoops, we missed it. We're going to start over, dude. Jenna X-Ray Dragon. Let's go. There it is. Dance party secured. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, shit. What's that, Paula? Oh. Sakatara. Dude, Elf, let's go, baby. Oh, dude, I love watching Elon get roughed up. Let's go, baby. All right. Next up, dude, we got to look at Russell Brand, boss. Oh my God. Okay. Dude, Russell Brand, Megyn Kelly. Okay. This is insane. Dude, why is the thing not working? Okay. Like, bro, this shit is crazy. From the Megyn Kelly show. Okay. All right. So, you ready for this? Dude, this is problematic. Okay? This guy, he used to be like a woke guy. You know what I'm saying? He used to be a woke guy, but can I tell you, I've always had issues with him because he always felt like man bun guru guy. Okay? You know what I'm talking about? Like, and I don't know if you guys have ever gone to yoga. I went to Bikram yoga for like a year and a half. And, you know, I used to go to yoga with Jenny. But if you go into metaphysical, like, healing spaces, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates, you go into some type of environment like that where there are a lot of, like, you know, young women engaging in the pursuit. There's always man bun, like, creeper guy, okay? There's always some guy who has a man bun, and he's usually really gaunt, like a vegan. He'll have a scraggly beard, and he's always, like, super nice, like extraordinarily nice. Will do anything, go out of his way, anyway, to help any of the women. But he's like a creeper, okay? You can look at him and you can just tell this guy is like laying the groundwork everywhere. And if he ever goes out and gives one of these women a ride home, they're not going to remember the night. He's going to like take them out for a drink and he pull out a pack of powder, you know? And you can just sort of spot these guys. They have a vibe that is like too nice, okay? Too amenable. You know what I'm saying? Too amenable. And so he always reminded me of that sort of like that culty guru-y sort of weirdo guy, right? You know? And like that always bothered me. So when there was like a grape charge on him, I was not surprised when allegations came out because I was like, yeah, it kind of fits the profile. But of course, as soon as he got a grape charge, he became a born-again Christian, and then he became a Republican. So now here he is on a Megyn Kelly show, okay? And let's watch this clip here.
In Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time.
Dude, what a creep.
I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish, and I did not apply enough consideration.
So, the word you're looking for there is rape, okay? You fucking piece of shit. Let me help you out. I know you're looking for a word. The word you're looking for is rape. All right? That's what it is, bro. When you're a Mr. Famous guy pulling some 16-year-old ensnared woman, oh, you're a young 30. Fuck off, bro. You can go to a young prison, okay? We'll put you in a young prison for your young 30.
Barely any, I suppose, really, to how barely any, I suppose. I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really,
I suppose,
to how that sex was affecting other people.
Yeah, and just so you know, Russell, that's what grapists do, okay? They use their power to seduce women and to get them sexually involved, and they don't consider the woman's experience at all. They don't consider how their power abuse is affecting women at all. But now, I want to look at this because there's a number of things here. Like, first off, let's look at like the 10-pound cross that homie's got around his neck. And let's for a moment here, like, hone in on how these abusers and these weirdo freaks always use religion, right? He wears this ginormous cross, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to get honest. I was a young 30, the age of consent. You know, it was, yeah, there's a power differential. I realize now how wrong I was, but I've got this huge cross, right? I got this Jesus cross on, and I'm being honest here. And so like we're done, right? I'm not going to prison. I'm cool. I can just go be a Republican now and pretend like all this abuse never happened, right? And dude, it is so toxic. They use this shit, guys. Like, you know, and this is another issue with religion because religion creates a singular higher power that you can cry to and beg for forgiveness, and no matter what you've done, you get a reboot, okay? And you can do that endlessly as long as you genuinely beg for forgiveness. So abusers and sociopaths and rotten fucking people, they flock to religion, okay? It is the place they go because it is the place where their deviant, abusive selves can exist, and they can constantly break down and feel the pain of the harm they've caused and acquire some of that redemption and begin anew, right? Until it happens again. So that is why it is so incredibly toxic. It's a haven, okay? Not every rotten, horrible person is going to end up like not every religious person is a rotten, horrible person, but every rotten, horrible person is going to eventually find their way to religion, and they're going to use that shit, okay? But like most of the religion, right? Most of the religion is literally like abusers, okay? I swear to you, it's like, I think it's like 90% abusers, man. It is so crazy. But now, guys, here's where it gets really crazy, is look at this. Then the 16-year-old girl accused Brand of SA, guys. Okay? I don't want to go into the whole, hold on here. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to hit the censors. Okay? But let me just tell you that to go into it, the girl he's talking about in the video accused him of SA, saying he forced, you know, his unit in her, like, and made her choke, okay? And then she punched him in the stomach, and then he fled, okay? And she said he groomed her, was calling her the child, and he was emotionally abusive and controlling. And DL, yes, we made it, boss. We made it in the bonus minutes, so we're good. Thank you. Okay? Now, you ready? So now, here's what's wild, though, is let's look at Megyn Kelly, okay? So now that age of consent person, okay, that age of consent person is the one charging him with grape, okay? That was why he converted. But now watch Megyn here.
Then came all the allegations, the alleged sexual assault and rape and and it first came in this UK, quote, documentary, and they use that term very loosely there and here. And I'll tell you up front, I was angry when I saw that because they did it in such a compelling way that, especially the stuff about the 16-year-old, that I was angry with you. I believed what they said, or at least believed that there was enough smoke, there might be fire. And said to the audience at the time, the conservative movement doesn't need somebody like that. Like, we love what he's saying about COVID, but if this is a guy who's sexually assaulting women and taking advantage of 16-year-olds, we need to move on without him. And felt that anger for a couple of years around you, because I just thought it was so reckless and it was so wrong. And I knew that it might be false, but it seemed overwhelming, the way that they presented the evidence. And then the more I looked at it, the more I started to recognize I might not know the full story. And honestly, I just reevaluated the whole thing and thought I need to be open-minded to having been wrong in my initial assessments. And I'm interested in a conversation about it all.
Dude, so she fucking... Dude, Elf, let's go! Elf says, my grandmother was always religious as fuck, but the only thing she abused was the bottle. She was the sweetest person in your life. Let's go, Elf. Congrats, dude. That sounds awesome. But, bro, so she's like, oh, I was mad at you, but like, now I'm ready to have a conversation because maybe it wasn't true. Why does Megyn Kelly keep doing this? What? She is seriously, guys, we got to pull the other clip. You ready? Handsy. Hold on. Let's get handsy with Megyn Kelly. Okay, this clip is outrageous, boss. You've seen this one with Megyn Kelly, about Megyn Kelly getting handsy. Right here, you ready? Wait, no, that's not it. Let's find it. It's this one. You ready? Watch this. This is Megyn Kelly on Donald Trump.
My own personal opinion is...
Now, by the way, we should note that when Bill O'Reilly was like freaking out, like Megyn Kelly was all about like defending women. Okay. When Me Too, Bill O'Reilly, Fox News. Okay. Megyn Kelly was like, she was a voice for women at one time. And now she is a voice of like, if you're a grapist, I got you. I got your back. But watch this clip. This is insane, boss.
My own personal opinion is most of the allegations against him are much more complicated than the mainstream media would have you believe. And I don't think Donald Trump is a rapist or a sexual assaulter. I do think he's taken inappropriate liberties with women and gotten handsy with them in a way he's owned himself. Okay. Years ago when he was a celebrity, and it is what it is. That's the past. But it's just about so much more than that. We are talking about
watch this.
How many people dying at the southern border because of the invasion that we've suffered under Joe Biden. We're talking about Laken Riley, whose killer was let in under Biden. We put him on a taxpayer flight down to Georgia where he murdered her. I don't give a shit about Trump getting handsy with somebody 20 years ago. I want someone who will close the border, which he has. I want someone who will keep boys out of my daughter's sports, which he has. I want someone who will stand up to the insane DEI policies so that white kids will stop hearing in school that they're born with some original sin from which they cannot recover.
Dude, isn't that crazy? She doesn't care if Trump rapes her daughter as long as he closes the border, hates trans people, and gets rid of DEI. Like, she's fucking insane. What world is she living in? Getting handsy with somebody 20 years ago? Like, bro, he was Epstein's best friend, you fucking hag. Dude, yeah, that is mental. So if you're wondering why, right? If you're wondering why Megyn Kelly is now entertaining Russell Brand, there you go. She does not care if men grape young women. She doesn't care. Men grape teenagers, she's fine with it as long as you're anti-trans, pro-white, and anti-immigrant. That's it. If you check those 3 boxes, you can go take a shot at her daughter, dude. She's cool. Oh, wait, no, not her daughter. You have to do it to somebody else's daughter. If you did it to her daughter, I'm sure she would act like it was a capital crime, that like nobody had ever committed a crime like that ever in the history. But if she does it to your daughter 20 years ago, Yeah, she's fine with that. As long as, trans people are booted out of her fucking school.
Thank you, Megyn Kelly, for giving me the grace to address in particular your anger, which is entirely legitimate and recognizable. And the plain fact of it is that in Europe and in the United Kingdom where I'm from, the age of consent is 16. And I did sleep with a 16-year-old.
All right, so we saw the rest of the clip, but there was the fucking setup. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? Like, just, I mean, look at his eyes too, dude. Dude, just messed up. And of course, though, he's got the 10-pound cross, okay? That is the key, guys. The huge, I got like a Caroline Levitt size XXL cross on there. Jesuit. He's like, I am reformed, right? He is reformed. Dude, that is wild. Dude, it is wild, man. The grapist to MAGA pipeline is a crazy one. It is a direct ride. It is a 2-minute subway stop. Right? Oh, dude, so dirty. Like, she is so dirty. She just doesn't care. She just does not care, man. Isn't that wild? Like, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I mean, guys, I want, Medicare for all. But, like, I don't want Medicare for all from a guy who's getting handsy with fucking teenage girls. I mean, call me crazy. If you're getting handsy with teenage girls, I don't want you working for me at all. I don't want you representing me. I don't want you having power. I don't want you having power over me. I don't want you giving me power. I just want you in the clink or a boot in your ass. I don't understand that mentality where she's like, as long as you do these things I want you to do politically, I don't even care who you are as a person, right? You know what I mean? And so it is pretty messed up. That pipeline, that pipeline is a strong one. I mean, if you look at it, dude, that pipeline is like how we get this, dude. Where is it? The picture with RFK Jr. Dude, you see this one, right? Dude, I love this picture. Dude, that's the pipeline right there where AOC is like, yo, I am not Olivia Nuzzy. Stop sending me dick pics. Okay? Dude. And he's like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, can I send you a picture of the raccoon's dick? Dude. Right? He's like, oh, okay. Can I send you a picture of the raccoon's dick? Or how about me and Kid Rock getting handsy in a jacuzzi? Dude. Bro. Isn't it? And she's like, yo, dude, chill. Like, chill. Okay? Isn't it wild? Now, you ready? Hold on. You got to hear this. If you guys have not heard this, this is the craziest thing ever. Okay, you ready? So watch what we are about to see here. You are going to hear RFK Jr. breathing. Okay? Listen to the fucking Mr. Crapo here talking to RFK Jr. and you're going to hear RFK Jr. on his microphone there breathing. Listen to this shit, guys. This is the most insane thing. He is literally just sitting at a desk. All right, you ready?
You have done among the many that you described in your testimony. In that context, in your testimony, you identified nutrition as a bedrock of health and one of the primary levers for treating and preventing chronic disease. You also emphasize that it's imperative for our nation's healthcare providers to be equipped to incorporate nutrition into patient care. Securing commitments from more than 50 medical schools to provide at least 40 hours of nutrition education is an incredible start. I don't think it was very long ago that there was probably very little nutrition taught in medical school. And now we are encouraging that to be a focal point. How does HHS plan to build on this progress by securing additional commitments from medical schools and expanding nutrition education into other key areas such as residency training, medical licensing, and continuing medical education?
Thank you very much, Chairman. Dude! What? What was that? Bro! Dude, you know what I thought when I first heard that? I thought he had the raccoon dick and he was like using it as like a snorkel, like trying to breathe through the raccoon penis. Like he's just sitting there like wheezing and gurgling. This is the guy in charge of your health, okay? This guy can't even breathe right. He can't even breathe correctly. Dude, isn't that insane? It is insane, right? Oh my God. I mean, we saw, I did see him shaking behind Trump in the Joe Rogan thing. We saw that, but oh my God, dude, what the fuck is going on? He needs some raw milk. Dude, that was some serious Darth Vader shit. Oh, dude, he is so bizarre. He is so bizarre, guys. He was trending today, too. I wonder why he was trending. I did see him trending earlier today. Dude, the breathing. Oh, yeah. It was from this clip. All right, you ready? So this clip is crazy. Watch this, guys. We're about to see brainworm math. All right? Brainworms for all my friends.
I was reminded when the president was speaking of a conversation that I had yesterday with one of the Democratic senators who was questioning me during a hearing, and she was ridiculing President Trump for his math, and she was saying it's mathematically impossible to have a drug drop by 600% cost, which he had claimed. And I said, well, if the drug was $100 and it raised the price to $600, that would be a 600% rise. Well, if it drops from 600 to 100, that's a 600% savings. And the president used that mathematical device to illustrate the magnitude of the theft that has been happening against our country and our people, as he said.
Well, here's the problem. If you go from 100 to 600, that is a 600% increase. But if you go from 600 to 100, that's only an 83% decrease, buddy. Like, bro, that is not a 600% decrease, brainworm. You fucking dink. What the fuck, dude? Look at these guys, though. Look at this group. Look at this group, okay? This guy doesn't know how to breathe, okay? Can't do math, right? Doesn't know what the fuck his agency is doing. He like tans his face in nuclear reactors so he looks like a catcher's mitt made out of beef jerky, right? This guy lied about going to Epstein Island, said, oh, I won and done. He showed me a massage table in his house and I never talked to him again. He was in business with Epstein. He went to the island. He took his kids to the island, okay? And he still has a job. No problem lying about being in Epstein Island, but yeah, you still have a job. Then we have another quack dude, Mehmet Oz, over here. Like, what the fuck? And then in the center of it all is Donald Trump just shitting his pants, filling a diaper after diaper after diaper, while a bunch of weirdos stand around him trying to, like, make up for his shit. And you ready for this, guys? The fact that RFK Jr., like, felt in a press conference the need to, like, hey, let me explain Trump's math, right? He's like, let me explain this pants shitter over here who doesn't know how to do math. Let me tell you what he meant by that with my bad math. And do you know what Congress is doing right now, guys? You ready for this? Can I just show you? This is insane, guys. Like, insane. Okay? Let me find the tweet here. You ready? So there's a list of GOP bills right now. This Congress that has passed no legislation, right? Day trader 100 to 600 is not even 600, it's 500. Yes, good point. Good point. Thank you, day trader. Dude, so this is a list of actual bills that are in Congress right now. These guys are not doing anything for healthcare. They still don't have a healthcare plan after 10 fucking years, even though they've dismantled Obamacare. They're not passing any legislation to help with prices or price gouging or shrinkflation or AI, nothing. But you know what they do have? They have a bill that would carve Trump's face into Mount Rushmore. They're proposing a bill. They're proposing a bill to rename the Palm Beach Airport after Donald Trump. They're proposing a bill to rename Dulles in Washington, D.C. after Donald Trump, the airport. They're proposing a bill to require the State Department to award a Trump Peace Prize. They're proposing a bill to declare his birthday a national holiday. They're proposing a bill to award Trump a congressional gold medal. They're proposing a bill to mint a $250 bill in U.S. currency with his name on it. And they're proposing resolutions to give him a Nobel Prize, like urging that Norway affords him with the Nobel Prize. And they are directing the National Institute of Health to conduct research on Trump derangement syndrome. Guys, like, honestly, in all honesty, why the fuck would they do this, guys? You know what I mean? Like what the fuck is going on? That he's just this 80-year-old pants shitter. Like, does he literally have, you know, like prison type blackmail on these people? Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's no sane reason that you would be proposing like 10 bills. I mean, if there's a TDS, this is it, bro. You know what I'm saying? There is no reason that a sane human being would fucking, like, these are congressmen that are proposing this shit. What the fuck, bro? I mean, dude, isn't that insane? It's not just me, right? I look at that and I think these people are mentally ill. Mentally ill. Dude, they didn't even do all this for, like, JFK. They haven't even done all this for, like, I mean, dude, they've only done half of this for, like, Abe Lincoln, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? It is the worst reality show ever, right? Somebody said you only have dead people on the dollar. Yeah, dude, maybe the money thing is the way, boss. Right? Maybe it is. Maybe the money thing is actually, maybe we should put that on the front of the docket. Oh. Dude. That is crazy. It is just insane, bro. Right? It is absolutely fucking bonkers. I mean, I see that stuff, guys, and I don't even know what to think about this shit, man. You know? I just don't even know what to think about this shit. Dude, oh shit, bro. dude, like James O'Keefe, dude, there's a restraining order against James O'Keefe in a stalking, and they went and took all his guns, bro. How many guns did this guy have, dude? Dude, Florida. Oh, shit, bro. Isn't that wild? Dude, Florida is going after James O'Keefe. The police just came to my office and confiscated all my firearms. Dude, how many firearms does this guy have, dude? Dude, how many firearms do these, like, MAGA gooners carry around with them? Jesus. Right? Look at that. Oh, dude, look at this. Ooh, let's take away the ability of one of the most consequential journalists of all time to defend himself. So James O'Keefe is Project Veritas. And so he is the guy that always like puts a hidden camera in a bag and goes to a bar with somebody and gets them drunk. And then he tries to get them to say something incriminated. And then he implies, aha, like Barack Obama was hiding aliens and this drunk staffer admits it, right? Dude, he's terrible. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He uses alcohol and tries to like coerce people into saying shit. He like baits them, you know, gets people drunk and then tries to bait them into making some like bravado claim. And then he uses those secretly recorded videos to then imply some bigger conspiracy theory. And then he puts it all out on Twitter and then it like propagates on its own. So he's not really the one generating the virality. And see, guys, this is a really common way that these crooks operate. Is they know by putting something outrageous on the internet, it will spread on Twitter through bot farms, through right-wing influencers, but then they don't have the ultimate culpability because they're like, well, I didn't spread it around. I just posted it and then I deleted it. And like, I can't help that it became this mega viral thing, but they do it on purpose. You know, it's pretty crazy. But now he's like, ooh, we have video footage. We're going to release it tomorrow. But everything about this, okay, everything about James O'Keefe is like, I'm being oppressed. There's a deep state conspiracy out to bring me down, right? He is very much he is very much a like, I'm oppressed and I am the victim. Like he's a huge victim fucking thing though. You know what I'm saying? He's a huge victim claimer. Now, let's see what his stalking order is from. Okay. Paranoid freak. Yes. So it's this, right? It is so he got a restraining order. Okay. It is about a domestic violence stalking case in Miami-Dade County. All right. And let's see what it is here. Okay. What does this say?
Dora through some weird, bizarre tort.
Okay, let me see here. Dude, I don't know why it links to this, but I need one without the music. Let's see if we can find information on him. Okay. So there was right? And look at this, though. They're freaking out because it's the Trump administration. Okay, again, this isn't Biden. Okay, this is not a Democratic operation here. Florida is Ron DeSantis. Florida is an all-red government. This is the Trump administration, right? Anytime some shit like this goes down, they always would blame Biden. Oh, the Democratic DOJ, the Democratic state. But everybody here involved is a Republican. And MAGA Republicans, the whole state of Florida. Okay, this has nothing to do with Biden. Okay, but here he is, right? Here's the typical thing with him, where he gets somebody on camera and he gets them to admit shit. right? There he is. He's greasy, dude. He is greasy, okay? He is greasy. But look at him. They're already starting it. This is what happens when you share too much of the truth. Oh, James O'Keefe shared the truth. Now he's having his guns taken away. But let's see the injunction, okay? Because let's find details on the injunction, all right? Because I believe it was a coworker, all right? He wants his name on Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's go, Felicia! Dude, Trump can have his name on a mountain of shit. I'd be down for that. Okay. So there is a Miami-Dade family court judge order issued a temporary restraining order, okay, filed by Matthew Termand against James O'Keefe. And it was classified as a domestic violence stalking petition. Okay, now as a result of him having a restraining order having to do with domestic violence, there's a Florida law that they come and take your guns, which is pretty crazy, guys, because they're the Second Amendment people. But if they come and take your guns if there's a restraining order, which I don't think is a bad idea. I think having those types of laws is a good idea. But I think what's interesting about it is how they say that we're the ones taking away the guns, and they literally have those laws in their fucking red states. But now let's see if we can find out a little bit more about this case, okay? And see what the case is. Because I don't know the details of the case. Yeah, it is a good law. All right, so here's, right, Matthew Termand. This, I'm assuming this is the same guy. Okay, yes, here we go. Okay, so here it is. Oh, all right. So he was the subject of the video. So the guy in this video is Matthew Termand. So he set up Matthew Termand, okay, and right, so he, I guess he set him up. Interesting. Hold on, let's see. Dude, now, I'm confused. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. So the guy caught on camera saying so there was a guy on camera. Okay. There was some guy talking about shooting bullets through O'Keefe's photo. All right. I'm presuming that the Termand guy, he made some comments while he was out talking to someone about getting aggressively violent with James O'Keefe. But he wasn't talking to James O'Keefe. He was talking to someone else. Now, here's what I presume. You ready? What I presume is O'Keefe had been harassing this guy, and this guy's out with someone just venting. Now, again, guys, if I have an issue with James O'Keefe, and I go out with a friend and say a bunch of horrid shit about James O'Keefe, but I'm not saying it to James O'Keefe, that is not illegal, okay? I can have all sorts of warped fantasies while I'm out having a private fucking dinner or private drinks with somebody, okay? You know what I'm saying? Dude, that shit is not a fucking issue, okay? It is not. And right? So I guess, though, he filmed that shit, and then it seems like maybe he outed it. right? Did chat freeze? I don't know. I don't think so. Nothing's freezing here on this end. But so, dude, that's pretty wild. So the guy caught on camera saying, right, all right, police then confiscated O'Keefe's firearms. Okay, so O'Keefe released hidden camera footage showing 𝗙monde saying he would harm him, calling him one of the most evil people he knew, and using a photo of his book for target practice. Okay, after the video's publication, some third parties then made threats towards 𝗙monde, and then 𝗙monde filed a domestic violence stalking petition, and he got it, okay? And then O'Keefe described it as a heckler's video, okay? And because it wasn't him who did the aggression. So that's what happened, okay? And I guess that, so it looks like he filmed a video of this guy saying he would harm him, and then he released that video, and then a bunch of people went and harassed, okay? Isn't that fucking crazy? And then he fucking got a restraining order. Oh, and now, dude, he loses his guns. Dude, that's actually beautiful. Dude, that is beautiful, boss. Dude, look at the people in here. They're mad that Florida has red flag laws, right? Oh, shit. Dude, look at that. Dude, oh my God, bro. That's hilarious. You know what is hilarious, guys? It's hilarious to me that they are getting beaten up by their own shit. Okay? You know what I mean? They're getting beaten up by their own shit, right? They hidden camera, they harass, and then as a result of their harassment, there's a restraining order. As a result of the restraining order, he loses his guns. He's in a red state that has red flag laws. Dude, it's crazy. And so the reason why it's domestic violence is because I think it's just the way it goes under statute, right? That like, because it's essentially a stalking charge, and it probably all stalking lies under domestic violence, right? I think it's like the way they just sort of stagger the laws, because it wouldn't be assault because nobody did anything to him, and it wasn't like battery because there was no physical harm. It was like, a bunch of threats and people stalking and people making him unsafe as a result of his filming. So I think it probably just, I don't know why it ended up under domestic violence, right? But unless there is maybe a secret relationship that we don't know about, that there's more to this story. But I don't think the 𝗙monde guy, let's see if he mentioned some shit about this. Okay. Let's see, right? But see, he's been like, it looks like he's been hawking him for a while, right? And I guess 𝗙monde used to work for him? Is that what it was? Oh, wait, here. Dude, crazy. I mean, it's possible that they had a relationship. So, okay. So 𝗙monde, dude, this is crazy, right? You ready? So he worked with them. He was on the board of directors. Matthew Termond worked with James O'Keefe at Project Veritas, right? Isn't that crazy? So they worked together, and then in early 2023, there was a big public feud. Okay, Termond was accused of being part of a coup that kicked O'Keefe out. Okay, and then due to O'Keefe like bilking money, and then O'Keefe denied it, and then they went at each other, and that's where I guess James O'Keefe was probably engaged in some harassment. I mean, guys, I'm sure there's definitely more more shit going on here, right? But now it looks like Termond got him kicked out of Project Veritas. Then he's stalking him and whatever he's doing, pursuing him over a period of several years until he makes this video, right? Confronting him, making a video, then getting him harassed, okay? And then he gets a restraining order. Dude, it's beautiful. Oh my God. That shit is crazy, guys. Just absolutely, I love it. So, yeah. So there you go. All right. Dude, I love it. I love it when these guys get bitten in the ass by their own shit. Okay? And it looks like he's doxing like one of the cops. Okay? And so I mean, dude, I could see them being, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Look at this. Can you see them having a fucking, a little Benny Johnson?
Bullet right through my heart.
Dude, I could totally see them having a little Benny Johnson. Dude, FTT dance, let's go. There it is, Peter. Let's go, boss. Thank you. I could very much see that, bro. Right? They absolutely. I mean, domestic violence, maybe there's a little something we don't know. A little cohabitation, a little scorned lover going on. I mean, revert back to what we said at the beginning of the stream, that essentially all of these guys are, closeted. That is why they are so, anti-LGBTQ, guys. Okay? They're all in the closet for the most part, boss. All right, you ready? We got to look at the Loomer deposition. Oh my God. Dude, Loomer. So, it is okay, dude. I think if they just come out, like, the world would be such a better place. But, all right, you ready? So here we go. All right, you ready? So this guy, okay, says we don't know who Project Constitution is, okay? I honestly don't know who this person is, but they're like some right winger, okay? But he says, I'm presuming though he's like some type of Charlie Kirk fucking thing, okay? Right? Some type of like Charlie Kirk connected. I mean, I don't know. It seems like this guy is obviously a Candace Owens devotee because he's calling Laura Larry Loomer. Okay. But he says he has obtained Laura Loomer's full deposition transcript from her lawsuit with Bill Maher. She just lost this major lawsuit. I believe it was a defamation lawsuit with Bill Maher that she lost. And look at what he says, though. Look at this. He says, when this comes out, it will end her relationship with Trump, her career, and quite possibly will land her in prison for disclosing classified information. Bro, that is a crazy assertion here. All right. Now, guys, remember, we have a battle for MAGA happening. Okay? We have a significant battle for MAGA happening. And it is Trump and Laura Loomer and the Zionists and Congress and the greasy motherfuckers like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham, right? All these closeted gay men, the Benny Johnsons of the world. They are like the Trump loyalists. They're going to go down with the ship. They are going to, like, Trump rules. They defer. What does the party believe? What do I believe? I believe what Trump says I believe. Okay? They are the MAGA faithful. Now, you have Tucker Carlson. You have Candace Owens. You have Megyn Kelly. She tries to ride the middle there. But definitely Tucker and Candace are on their own tip. And they are fuck 𝗍𝗍𝗄𝗎. They are anti-Zionist. They are anti-Trump. I mean, I say they're anti-Semitic and you know, white supremacists. They are definitely white Christian nationalists. Even though Candace Owens is black, she is a white Christian nationalist, and they are deeply anti-Semitic with the whole George Soros rules the world. But they use anti-Zionism as like the cover for their anti-Semitism, okay? And they're trying to build their followings with disaffected, like, you know, right-wing or left-wing or center-wing people that are anti-Zionist. They're doing that Nick Fuentes Groyper crawl, okay? That's what they're doing. They're trying to, like, reel it in. But there's like a battle, okay? There is a battle going on for, like, power supremacy inside MAGA. And this is getting really interesting, right? Because now on the one hand, you have Laura Loomer actively trying to destroy Candace Owens. And she is doing it to protect Trump. She's doing it to protect TPUSA. Okay? And she was doing it with the trust, Battery Lane Trust, and saying that Candace is hiding money and property and her husband hiding it from the Macron lawsuit. And she's going in there, like, trying to ruin Candace. But it looks like it is now swinging back, where now all Candace's people and the anti-Erica Kirkers are now going to get a hold of this deposition, and they're going to go to town on Laura Loomer. But this is a bold claim here. Like, I need to see what this says, because I really need to see what she could have said that will end her relationship with Trump and her career. Oh, dude, that's got to be juicy, guys. You know what I mean? That's got to be juicy, right? It does. It has to be juicy. So Candace is definitely smarter than Laura Loomer. I also think Candace has access to, like, you know, Candace has access to more power than Laura Loomer does. Okay? She does. Let's face it. The only real power that Laura Loomer has is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is even, like, distancing himself, you know what I'm saying, from Laura Loomer whenever required, in order to, you know, the way he, like, moved her aside during the campaign. Anytime she brings negative press on him, he bounces. But her, like, Laura Loomer's only power source is her proximity to Trump and her being able to get into the ear of some of Trump's, you know, like, you know, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗄 and whatever, these people. But But Candace, though, I mean, you know, she's in the sort of the Kanye network and the Tucker Carlson network. Like, Candace has access to non-Trump power for sure. And she has way more money. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Way more money. And yeah, Laura Loomer is also known for being like certifiably insane, dude. I mean, let's be honest. Laura Loomer, her dad has like had her committed, you know, for mental health issues. She, you know, handcuffed herself to Twitter. She is known for being batshit. I mean, my God, she's throwing around racial slurs and shit, just going off on Candace for days, saying shit like God hates you. Like, bro, you can't be, you know, like in the orbit of Trump with like these, you know, Heritage Foundation people running around telling people God hates you. And like, you know, I mean, you can, but the minute it gets too hot, she's going to get booted. Dude, who, Candace's husband is worth $750 million. Is Candace's husband, George Farmer, they're that rich? There's no way, dude. Really? I had no idea. I mean, I knew he was rich, but I didn't know they were that rich. Okay, so let's see. Okay, dude, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then we're going to come back and we're going to look at Laura Loomer's statement. Okay? Because guys, you ready? I want to see Laura Loomer, like, I want to see her go down. I do, man. Her and the whole Trump wing, I think, like, you know, unplugging Laura Loomer and watching her crash is, you know what I'm saying? Dude, watching her crash is important. It is. Oh, I'm sure Candace's husband is probably, he does not want the Macrons getting any of that cash, right? All right, I'll be back in a sec, guys. Enjoy this lovely song, all right? Hang tight.
always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. Always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything but me. But me. Red, red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? To my psychosis friend, down and begin again. His eyes are broken in, and I don't feel the same. Red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? Me, I grew, and I knew, if I do, and I do anything that you would have said, but now you're trying to be real.
Let's go. Dude, had to fucking take the trunk off. All right, we're back though. Dude, let's go. A good tune, actually. I'm gonna let the guitar solo play. It's one of my better guitar solos, actually. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We're gonna fucking hit that up. Hold on 1 second here. I do want to look at. Let's go. Good jams, dude. Thank you, Charlie. Let's go, dude. Dude, people are fucking reacting on Twitter to this. Here, I'm going to take a moment here. We're going to take just a little sidebar, okay? And on Loomer, because I want to show something that's getting a reaction here. So there's this clip of Hasan talking earlier today here. There's a clip from a New York Times interview. And he's talking about a book that talks about social murder, okay? Now, what's interesting about this, okay, is that he's talking about a book where the book talks about social murder, which is looking at like when corporations kill people, right? Like the health insurance industry. Well, people pay for insurance, and then the healthcare companies, they reject claims. 20 to 40% of all claims get rejected. And it's part of their business model. And the way health insurance companies do it is they have actuaries that crunch data and they look for the most algorithmically way to avoid lawsuits. Okay, which means if you're poor, if you're black, if you're right, if you are from a group that is not likely to sue or to be able to win a lawsuit, they deny your claim. So you paid for something and you don't get the service, and then thousands of people die indirectly. Like they're not going up and pulling the trigger, but they are pulling a trigger where they're denying them life-saving care. And those people die, you know? And so this occurs, okay? This occurs in social murder, in healthcare industries. This occurs a lot of times with like the gutting of USAID, where now there's people around the world that will die, or when you cut off help for, AIDS-related, deaths, etc. There was social murder in the 80s with Ronald Reagan when they pretended the AIDS epidemic wasn't happening, right? There's social murder with the drug epidemics. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit. 𝗙Exycontin, the doctors overprescribing it. There's just social murder all over the place. And then it gets crazier too, because there's things like wage theft where corporations can steal millions of dollars from people and nobody in the corporation ever gets punished. They get in trouble if they do get in trouble, and they get a fine. Now, what's interesting about this is if you look at the clip, Hasan doesn't say like, go and do this, but look at what he says here.
Engels wrote about the concept of social murder, and Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder, the systematized forms of violence, the structural violence of poverty, the for-profit paywalled system of healthcare in this country, and the consequences of that are tremendous amounts of pain, tremendous amounts of violence, tremendous amounts of deaths. And that was a fascinating story for me, because Americans are very draconian about crime and punishment. They're very black and white on this issue. And yet, because of the pervasive pain that the private healthcare system had created for the average American, I saw so many people immediately understand why this death had taken place.
Now, what he says here is he saw people understand this, okay? Which is essentially what he's saying is the privatization, this healthcare, these denial of claims, all the people that die as a result of this business. And so very real pain is created in America constantly from health insurance and healthcare being bad and people not having it and people dying it. So when somebody did get murdered in that realm, somebody murdered the CEO of this company, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I can kind of see like why that happened. Nobody's saying that they agree with it, right? Because it's like, no, it's horrifying, right? Brian Thompson being murdered, gunned down by some random guy outside his fucking apartment is horrifying, okay? And the murder that happens from these healthcare CEOs, the tens of thousands of people that get murdered every year by every healthcare company's policies of not paying out, that is equally horrifying. Now, what's crazy to me is that everybody sees Brian Thompson getting gunned down as horrifying, but people will look at the healthcare industry and be like, that's not horrifying, that's just capitalism. Now, what I said was, I don't understand why people are freaking out, because my son is about to turn 21 and everyone in his social circle kind of feels that way, that like, wow, capitalism is so abusive and violent that eventually that shit is going to bite back, right? And I just don't think it's that radical. And people like health insurance companies literally deny 20 to 40% of their claims is their business model. Like, of course, people think like, yeah, going Fight Club on that system would make sense, right? Or like what I said, guys, was this, right? I broke it down to something even simpler, okay? Where I literally said what I said to you guys a minute ago, where I said, let me see if I can find it. I just don't understand why people are freaking out about him saying that, because where I said right here, look at this. I said, Luigi shooting Brian Thompson was horrifying. Absolutely. But if you don't see the health insurance industry is equally horrifying, where like they have a 20 to 40% claim denial rate, they're doing it to profit, they're doing it to bolster stock, and as an end result, thousands of people just die, and they never get fucking, nobody in those healthcare companies has to be punished for that. If you don't see that as horrifying, like, you are fucked up, okay? You are. There is no way around it, right? Ted Bundy is horrifying, but Trump firing a missile into a girls' grade school in Iran is just as horrifying as fucking Ted Bundy. Like, how can people use capitalism and nationalism to justify that shit? See, to me, guys, it's equally horrifying. If a guy goes down the street and starts shooting people in the streets, that is horrifying. If a soldier goes to Iran and starts shooting Iranian people because he was ordered to, that is the same horrifying. That does not justify it, okay? You know what I mean? But it does to us. A soldier can go to Iran and kill 20 Iranians, and he's not a murderer. But somebody here kills one person and they're a murderer. That's bullshit, okay? It's like killing is killing, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to demean soldiers because I know they're signing up and they're doing this job, but to act like what they're doing is not murder is fucking bullshit, because it is, man. Okay, that's the same reason I would never join the military. My son would never join the military. No way, dude. If there was a draft, we would be in Canada. We would be somewhere else, because I'm not going to let my son be made a murderer by the state, man. No fucking way, bro. Okay? There's no fucking way, dude. You know? There's just no way. I'm sorry. You cannot draft my kid and make him a murderer to carry out some nationalist agenda. No, okay? You cannot. There's no fucking chance that that would happen, okay? And guys, dude, I have a brother, okay? I have a half brother who was in the Navy for almost 20 years. He ended up having a schizophrenic break. He went to both fucking Iraqs, boss, okay? He, like the George Bush, oh my God, the first one, Desert Storm, where he was on a gunboat, he was on a destroyer in the Persian Gulf that just, he told me like little bits he leaked out, but like they sank every boat. It could be a boat filled with women and children, didn't matter. Okay, the destroyer pulled up and just blew the shit out of that. Okay, Desert Storm. He was fucked up. He came back and he could not sleep. He would drive for like days. He was fucking mental. He eventually had a schizophrenic break, okay? And ended up, they found him catatonic. He got released from the service early, right? He's now on medication for life. But like, guys, this shit is fucked up. Those guys, they like create them to be murderers, and then they abandon them when they get out of the military, man. They never really get them help, dude. Dude, you know? And like, so the fact though that like the social murder perpetrated by healthcare companies is looked at like that's okay. And then Luigi Mangione, who commits a murder, that is not okay. But then sending your kids to a foreign country and turning them into murderers, okay? You know what I'm saying? Into murderers, and then acting like that murder is okay is not okay. You know what I'm saying? You know? And like the thing is I am pointing out how what we need to do is we need to have an understanding that murder is murder. And so the same level of compassion and understanding we can have for a soldier who is doing his job, we can extend that same compassion even to the killer that we're punishing and putting into jail, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still human beings. But my problem is we will look with compassion on the soldier, but we won't look with compassion on the fucking person who has a breakdown or fucking does a bad thing or like freaks out or even, you know, crashes into someone while driving. You know what I'm saying? Like the point being is that killing is killing, and doing it for a nationalist cause is still creating a murderer, and you may not be charging them, but like it's like the same shit, you know? And you can never convince me otherwise. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, like that half brother of mine, he went in the Navy and he became a murderer. And then he got out of the Navy and he like just couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. I mean, he couldn't handle it while he was in. He ended up getting out because he couldn't handle it because he had a mental break. But like the Navy made him a murderer and it really fucked him up, you know? And like, you know, it's just weird how we have this like double standard. We do it with theft too, where corporations can steal and they just get a fine because it's okay for corporations to steal. They're allowed to steal. They're allowed to cheat. They're allowed to break the law. Okay. And then the minute they get caught, they pay a fine and then they go about and do business. So we live in a society where stealing is okay, just not for you. If you steal, you're a criminal, you're bad, you're a poor moral fiber. But if a corporation steals, it's just doing business and whoops, they got caught. Yep, sorry. Oh, we'll pay a fine. That was wrong. We shouldn't have done that. You know? And like, that's just my point. My point is about you have to see the whole picture. And this is not, I am not condemning soldiers, guys. I'm just pointing out the fact that, you know, like looking at the plight of the soldier and looking at the people that are in prison and realize that like they're both human beings. It's just once we label someone a criminal, okay, once we label someone a criminal, we have decided that anything that happens to them is okay because they're a criminal. But like, they're still human beings, okay? Not every person not every person who's even committed a murder in jail is like a horrible, unredeemable person that can't be fixed, okay? And by the same token, many people come back from war being murderers and they never get help for the fact that the state made them become murderers, and now they're left having been murderers and they don't get punished for it, and it becomes this crazy mind fuck for the soldiers that they feel like a murderer and they know they're a murderer, but society acts like they're heroes, and that is wounding to them too. Like, many veterans come back knowing that they are murderers and they don't get help for it. And society's like, no, you're not a murderer, you're a hero. And they're like, no, I'm a fucking murderer. Like, give me some fucking help. You know, that is like the classic wound of the soldier. It's the fact that they have been created, they've been turned into murderers, and no one will acknowledge it and let them get help for it. Like, guys, it's a thing, dude. It's a thing. It's a struggle, you know? It's not even about war crimes. It's about the fact that you can't kill other human beings and not be affected by it. Just because you're ordered to kill someone, after you kill them, that doesn't take away the fact that you've committed murder, okay? It does not. It gives you license to do it, but it doesn't take away what happens in your head when you commit a murder. Now, the problem, guys, with some of this shit is it seems like the Brian Thompsons who commit those large-scale social murders with the swipe of their pen, it seems like, are they affected by it? Are they aware that they're committing murders in the healthcare industry, or do they just not consider it murder? Because it is, man. You know, it is. It, like, that kind of shit is like, you know, it's indirect, but it's still murder. You know what I mean? It's like, it's indirect, but it's still murder, you know? And it's just weird though that we like, we how we look at shit, you know? We look at shit and we look at shit differently. And I think though, the root of finding real compassion is trying to understand that you know, that like there's you know, behavior is behavior no matter how we as a society try to classify it. And what Midnight is saying too, that like that's what's really interesting is a lot of CEOs, like a CEO and Ted Bundy are oftentimes the very same personality. It's just Ted Bundy did this gruesome killing face to face in this really heinous way that society frowns upon. And these CEOs will engage in killing in ways that society is totally okay with, and they get away with it, and they even get celebrated for it. Like, oh my God, a whole bunch of people died because you cut that company, cut all those jobs, and fucking destroyed the environment, like murdered all those people when you put hexavalent and chromium in their water and you gave them all tumors and cancer, but your company is like Fortune 500, man. Good job, right? But it's the same shit. So I guess I'm not asking to get rid of soldiers or to charge soldiers for capital crimes. That's not what I'm asking. And I'm not saying that criminals that commit murder should be let off and get leniency. But what I am talking about is a general understanding of, like, if people get pushed to the breaking point, they will sometimes do heinous things. And that doesn't make them a demon, okay? That can be a totally normal human being pushed to the limit, like beaten down by the system, can act out in a fit of rage. And like, you know, like sometimes that shit happens. You know what I mean? And like we can punish them humanely. And maybe when guys come back from war and they're feeling like murderers, maybe we can actually understand that, like, of course they are, because we made them into murderers, and like, let's try to fucking rehabilitate them so they don't end up like drinking themselves to death or getting an opiate addiction because they can't live with that, you know? And maybe we can understand that some people can be rehabilitated. Not everybody who commits murder is like a Ted Bundy sociopath. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just we are labels, okay? We create labels to excuse behavior but like, you know, we don't really look at the underlying nature of what's going on, you know? And the thing about insurance that is particularly toxic is, let me just tell you, like Jenny worked as an actuary. So guys, they have people that did the jobs of like number crunching on how to deny care and how to deny services in order to not get sued. Like, they had actuaries that do that. And now, guys, they're probably using AI. So now they have very clinical, inhumane, no concern about actual life or death AI algorithms that will just carve this shit up. And because the entire insurance industry, guys, is based on selling care and then not paying for it. Okay? The profit is not paying for it. Because eventually, if people have insurance long enough, they're all going to use care. So the way they make money is by denying. Okay? The entire industry is about denying care. Now, again, I am not supporting Luigi Mangione. I am not supporting like going out and murdering people to solve our problems. I do not support that. What I am trying to say is I equally don't support our capitalism murdering with impunity and getting away with it for the sake of capitalism and creating money. Okay? So I want to look at the Luigi Mangione and the health insurance industry denying care. I want to look at those two things as the same crime. And let's actually start punishing crime the same and not calling it a crime when Luigi does it, but it's not a crime when the CEO of a healthcare business does it. I think they should both be serving time, or we should get rid of the healthcare insurance industry. If you don't want to put those CEOs in jail for the murders that their company is committing, then make it so that company doesn't exist, and let's have humane healthcare that doesn't deny people for the sake of profits. Okay? That's my take, guys. And I don't think that's radical. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You know, because I'm not going to say that the system created Luigi Mangione. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the system made him and he's just acting out at the system. No, I'm saying he's a murderer. And yeah, we should not allow murder, but we also can't allow companies to murder for the sake of corporate capitalism and then pretend like that's not murder and everybody gets away because it's a corporate entity doing it, or it's an algorithm doing it, or it's an industry doing it. We have to start valuing the sanctity of life more than the sanctity of stock prices and profits. And if we don't, right? If we don't, guys, we're going to have other types of like heinous violence that's going to act up against those murderous systems. You know what I mean? It's like you can't oppress and then like hate the violent rebellion that comes from oppression. And I mean, guys, this is something I felt very passionate about, right? From living in a big city where there's gang violence, because gang violence is wrong, guys. It is wrong. I would never defend gang violence. What I do is I understand gang violence. Gang violence is wrong, but I also understand when you have a neighborhood of poor people and you take all the resources out, you don't allow any of them to get ahead, and then you over-police that shit, trying to put them all in prison to fulfill the free prison labor. Yeah, those fucking people are going to create gangs, and they're going to get violent. I mean, because they have no fucking choice, man. It's either do that or end up in the system. And they're going to end up in the system most likely either way. So at least the gang violence life to them, they think it's possibly a way above it all. Okay? And if the neighborhood is like beat up enough that gang may be the only family they have. Okay? They might not have any other family because their dad is fucking been put in prison and their brother's been put in prison and they're right. And they have no fucking way out. Only 1 in a million is going to find a way out through school or athletics or what have you, you know? So like, I don't condone it, but I do understand it, you know? And that's the thing. Like, I, you know, people are saying that Hasan condones violence. And I don't know that he does. I don't watch him enough to know that he does, but I suspect he doesn't really. I suspect he just understands why it happens. And maybe sometimes in a rant, he says some shit that makes it seem like he condones it. But I mean, you know, I just don't, you know what I'm saying? You know? And so I like, I don't know, man. I was a poor kid. Okay. So I grew up, guys. I grew up in neighborhoods that were always like on the edge of oppression, okay? And so I know what it's like to grow up in the powder keg of like watching my parents struggle to like make ends meet. And that kind of pressure like leads to, it exacerbates alcoholism and domestic violence and child abuse. Okay, I'm not excusing or saying because my parents were in that situation, oh, that gave them a license to be that way. But a lot of the child abuse and a lot of the alcoholism I was inserted to as a kid, it got exacerbated by my parents barely being able to survive. Okay, you know, and that is, I'm not the only person who experiences that. If you go into poor neighborhoods, you go into poor rural towns, you know, you will see a lot of that. You will see a lot of people struggling to just survive. And then any like family history of domestic violence or abuse, child abuse or alcohol abuse, that shit just gets exacerbated. And it becomes this like negative cycle. And we don't like have a lot of understanding about like how people can get trapped in that, you know? You know what I mean? And so, you know, you know what I mean? And so that's my thing is I just think that we condone, you know, we allow capitalism and industry and society to condone negative behavior in the name of like policing or nationalism or capitalism or like the success of business. And then we look at, you know, people that are under pressure that are being, you know, experiencing the violence of capitalism if they're poor, if they don't have a good education, if they were born into a shitty situation. And then we look at their behavior and we judge them very harshly, okay? Very fucking harshly. Like, how dare you, right? How dare you fucking steal food, right? And it's like, but like, I'm hungry. My family is fucking poor. And like, you know, I don't feel like I have an option. How dare you, right? But when Amazon steals, it's like, oh man, that's Amazon. Just fine them. Don't do that. That's bad. You know what I mean? I don't like that kind of dichotomy, guys. I don't. I think we should be able to, you know, we should be able to punish criminals and, you know, punish corporate criminals and punish criminal industries, you know? You know what I'm saying? And again, I am not celebrating Luigi, Okay? I do not. I do not celebrate Luigi. I want to be very clear with that, guys. Okay? I don't. I don't celebrate Luigi the same way that I don't celebrate like whoever murdered Charlie Kirk. Because I don't think celebrating people like that, I don't think that solves anything. You know? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that solves anything. I don't think celebrating that shit. I don't want to be misconstrued because I don't excuse the behavior. You know, I do understand though why like breaking points come though. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think there are people that are just born sociopathic and that have a penchant for, you know, harming people without regards. But I also think there are people that just reach a breaking point and make mistakes. And maybe that like they have a deep regret for it afterwards. And of course, it's really hard to tell who is who. This is the curse of all the criminal justice system, is of course telling who is who. But what's really interesting to me, guys, is how right-wing people tend to see people who commit crimes in very harsh light. Like, you committed crimes. And they don't extend that same grace to regular people who've committed crimes, you know? And can I illustrate something, guys? I want to illustrate something for you, and I'm going to use Paulina Luna to do it. Okay? This is not about a murderer, but check this out, guys. Okay? Check this out. Because she said something today, guys. Okay? Look at what she said. And it was about the guy who committed fraud. Okay? So look at this. Okay, you ready? Look at this, guys. So there's a soldier, all right? There's a special forces soldier who was on the Maduro thing, okay? A special forces soldier. There was a huge Polymarket thing about will Maduro be in power after this date? And one of the special forces army guys who knew that he was going in and capturing Maduro, like bet a whole bunch of money on this Maduro thing on like Polymarket on a betting service. And he won 400 grand. Okay. Because he had the inside information. Okay. Again, this is legal, I guess, but like they haven't passed any laws really, but you know, they're kind of like bending some laws, but this is the type of insider shit that all of this stuff encourages in these betting markets. But look at what Paulina Luna said. She said, maybe not a popular take, but I'm calling for this guy to be pardoned. Unless the DOJ plans on going after all the crooks in Congress currently insider trading, this is simply skewed justice. There is no justice when guys like this get the book thrown at him, yet members are illegally profiting every day. I don't agree with what he did, and he should be required to disgorge all the profits. However, unless DOJ plans on doing Congress next, this is not justice. But guys, she says, hey, if a soldier knows he's going to capture Maduro and then goes and makes a bet and wins a whole bunch of money in insider trades, let's pardon him because you can't punish him because you're not punishing Congress. But yo, what about if one of her constituents, if a black constituent in Paulina Luna's district committed a little crime like that, you know, had some insider information and cheated and made some money? Dude, she'd want to put him in jail. I know she would. I know if a black man in her district did some kind of cheek sneak to win on a bet at a horse race and got caught, she would want to put him in jail. But she's going to extend this grace to a military guy and use like Congress insider trading as the excuse. And again, that's a weird like gray area. okay? Because I understand that, like, homie, like, the people in Congress should be punished too, okay? We should be punishing the congressman and the soldier and the fucking, you know, whatever. If you're going to punish anyone, punish them all. But, or guys, you ready? Maybe what we could do is we could realize that Polymarket should be illegal. And maybe, like, the soldier doesn't need to be punished, but maybe it's the institution itself, that Polymarket encourages manipulation. And maybe the stock market encourages manipulation, right? You know what I mean? Like, right? Maybe there's some issues with these whole institutions that are just built on insider trading. Because, guys, that's a real problem with the stock market, period, is that the stock market, every company, like, has this information, guys. Okay, they do. Companies, government officials, people in the know, insider circles, like with the tech shit, all of the tech bros know what's going on with these companies and they're all looting the stock. The stock market has been looted by insider information since its inception. It was made to be profitable for the people that have the information. Okay? It is the market, the house. There's always a house, guys, in every speculative endeavor. If you go to a casino, the house knows the odds. That's the whole take, guys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's it. Dude. Right? Dude. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's time for us to expand our definition of, like, justice, and expand our definition of, like, understanding about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I mean, guys, can I just tell you, I have a like a sort of an evolved look at this, I think, because of my years in the service industry. Okay. And let me just explain it to you, because if you look at the business side of the service industry, the people that own restaurants, the people that own bars, they look at employee consumption of their goods as theft. If you take food from the restaurant that you didn't pay, if it wasn't an employee meal that you paid half price for, if you give someone a free drink, you're stealing. That's the way the business people look at it. But all of us that work in the industry, we work our asses off. We get paid minimum wage from the business. So we drink free, we eat free, all of us do, and none of us consider it stealing. Okay? Because we're fucking making them a bunch of money. But they're like, we're not making that much money because you're all stealing, right? And so it's this weird conundrum where the restaurant owners would look at people giving free drinks away or eating at work without paying for it as stealing, but all of the employees are engaging in that behavior. And there is a weird dichotomy about it, okay? Because every service industry person is engaging in some form of eating or drinking on the job, or they're giving away a couple free drinks to their barista, and their barista is giving away a couple fucking, you know, whatever, some coffee at the coffee shop, and there's all kinds of bartering going on, right? But like, is it stealing or is it not? To me, it never was stealing to be eating while I'm working, because I was underpaid, okay? And they all, I'm sure every one of those bosses would have considered my behavior and the behavior of my coworkers to be stealing, right? Now, some places would allow you to comp shit, and then it wouldn't be considered stealing. You know what I'm saying? But guys, you know what I'm saying, guys? I think chatters some of these things are like hot button issues. And I would suggest this, guys. I would suggest that around these hot button issues, if you really get into a disagreement with someone that's untenable, just like block them so you don't have to see their messages. I think people have, like, some of this is very triggering. And so I hope you guys will take it easy on each other, because people have very different moral boundaries around this shit. You know, I mean, like what I just told you, when I worked at a restaurant, I would eat there for free. There are some people who would look at that behavior and say that I was stealing when working at that restaurant. But guys, having worked at restaurants for years and having given my body to the job of restaurant and making, you know what I'm saying? Like having a shift where I would sell like $2,000 worth of food and they would pay me, $50. The restaurant would pay me $50 in salary for me selling $2,000 worth of food. I had no qualms like eating a couple of free meals during that shift. And it was not stealing at all. But do you see how the moral gray area is weird? That I'm sure if my manager, he would have or the owner of that restaurant would have considered me to be a thief. Right? But I considered him being able to pay me only $5.50 an hour. This was back in the 90s, right? $5.50 an hour while I am, generating hundreds of dollars in profits for him an hour. I kind of considered him to be a thief, right? You know what I mean? I mean, sure, I was making tips, but those tips I was counting on the good graces of the customer. And those tips were like me going above and beyond. You know what I mean? And so I think that's where it gets like a gray area, because my boss would have considered me to be a thief, and I considered the owner of that restaurant to be a thief. Right? So we're at an impasse, right? You know what I mean? I mean, that's where it gets like dicey with some of this, because I don't think morality is a black and white thing. It's not a light switch, guys. My own dad, a vet, thought my stealing property U.S. government ballpoint pens for him was okay because I was taking from our government. All right, let's go, Dio. I mean, that's just it. Like, I think that, morality is not a light switch. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Morality is not a light switch. And I think nothing in life is really a light switch. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of like how I feel about this. I know this shit just gets heated. And sometimes I think, guys, some people can be a little fucking like trolly controversial as well. I've found disengaging is often the way to go. All right. Let me just tell you, right? There are like, just so you know, right? Sometimes if you try to engage with people some people will just extend the fucking disagreement, and because they like that, creating that negative energy or whatever. And so I think sometimes the best thing we can do is just disengage, right? Just disengage, You know what I'm saying? I think it's easy to just block them and move on. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of like my solution, right? Because I think sometimes people just like to generate, You know what I'm saying? Right? It's hard too, guys. Can I just say, it's hard to have a genuine debate in a chat because you're missing a lot of context. But I've kind of taken a lesson of just sort of when I see people trying to engage me and hook me into that back and forth, I just stop responding there is a block button. Yeah, you can block chatters so you don't even see their posts anymore. And then you can just like eliminate them from your experience. It's actually pretty magical. And it doesn't prevent them from chatting. It just makes it so you don't see them. You know, you don't see their messages. It's pretty cool. That's one good thing about social media, I think. But I do get it on Twitter. You know what I do, guys? On Twitter often, I just mute them, right? It's just, you just mute them, and then it's like, you know, you don't get engaged in the back and forth. Because I mean, sometimes that'll go on forever. Dude, I see people in my replies sometimes for like a week, guys. I have seen people in my replies, they get into fights, and like a week later, they are still going at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But for me, often, if somebody gets real argumentative with me on Twitter and they want to go back and forth, I just mute them, and then I let them go to town in my replies, and I no longer even see their shit. Because I don't know, dude. There's only so much I can get into. You know? There's only so much I can get into, boss. Right? You know, I think it's like, you know, it's just sometimes like, you know, I think sometimes, you know, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. It is. It's hard. It's hard in a chat, dude. As long as socialism is bad, the rich get richer. See, guys, I don't like the thing that's really interesting about like my relationship with capitalism is I don't, you ready for this? Let me drop some knowledge on you, okay? Like, for example, okay, cocaine is dangerous, right? People can get addicted. Dude, Sam, let's go. Snow puppies back, barking empathy. Let's go, baby. Right? So you look at a drug like cocaine or even alcohol, right? Those drugs are dangerous, right? Domestic violence, addiction, car crashes, overdoses. That shit is dangerous, right? But they also both have value, okay? They do. They both have value as well when, like, you know, used properly or used sparingly, or if you respect the power of them, okay? And if it gets out of control, you get help. Now, capitalism has value. Profit motive, the generation of using resources to generate the currency in order to, like, do things, that has value. Thanks for these great streams. Let's go, Charlie. Capitalism absolutely has value. Now, that doesn't mean that it should be out of control. That doesn't mean that capitalism should be driving the boat and that profit motive should be supreme. We also have life. We have human beings. We have societies. We have a climate. We have a planet. We have a lot of things that should be respected. And if the capitalism was used to serve those higher purposes, then maybe it wouldn't be so damaging. But I feel like right now, capitalism isn't even a free market anymore. It's not a competitive market. Now it's like an out of control alcoholic beast. It is like an addicted beast that is just gorging and ODing to where there's like a handful of people that are ODing on this fucking system, and they're drunk with power and they're drunk with resources, and everyone else is like dying on the vine, and nobody's saying, let's go get some therapy for this. Everybody's just sitting here watching the train wreck and being like, fuck, I just want to try to be one of those ODing people so I can survive the apocalypse. Like, literally, everyone's just trying to be able to afford a bunker so they have a place to hide when the shit goes down. And I think that's kind of stupid, man, that we've let it get out of control to where, you know, you have trillionaires. Like, really? A fucking trillionaire? Like, come on, bro. like, you know, like if somebody becomes a trillionaire, we should immediately take all of their resources and redistribute them to everyone and maybe put them in jail for even like amassing that much wealth, right? You know, like if you're amassing a trillionaire, isn't that like the same thing as committing murder, right? Tell me it's not. You know, because somebody said, like, look at this shit. You ready? Somebody in the replies on my original tweet about Hasan, okay? And again, dude, Hasan is inflammatory, and there are plenty of things I disagree with Hasan about being irresponsible about the fucking, you know, the way he uses his platform and like whatever I think like follows his career. But look at this. He says, if your son thinks it's okay to murder and steal, he will probably be in prison soon. But like, guys, like I said, me working at a restaurant for minimum wage and generating a lot of profit, I did not think taking food while I was working was stealing. To me, that was equalizing the fact that I was being exploited. Okay, now, when a billionaire gets a stadium paid by the taxpayers and that money's going out of the schools and the roads and the mental health care and the homeless and all that shit, is that billionaire? Is he stealing? Right? I mean, I think he's stealing. I think when a billionaire gets a stadium paid for him, he's fucking stealing, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, give me a fucking break, bro. You know? Like, that, to me, that's fucking stealing. But like, in capitalism out of control, it's not. It's like, because he's going to provide a whole bunch of minimum wage paying jobs where a bunch of workers can get exploited and then they're supposed to feel lucky to have been exploited, right? I mean, you know, oh shit, boss, right? I mean, you ready for this, guys? You ready for this? I know this sounds crazy, but I think if you're a fan of the team, right? If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan and you go to the games and you buy tickets and you buy their merch, you should be part of that. You should own some of that stock. Every fan, okay, should own a little bit of that stock. If you buy $20,000 worth of merchandise, you should have $20,000 worth of stock in that team. When that team increases in value, you should be getting free merchandise, or you should, you know, when you like retire, you should be able to cash out and like have your $20,000 investment that you spent on that team be something that pays you a little bit, right? I mean, why not? You're investing. The reason he's generating billions is because of all those fans. But no, the stockholders, they get that money, okay? Anybody who's rich enough to buy a bunch of stock gets to pull all those profits out. And the fans and the workers, they don't get shit. And I think that that's wrong. I think rich people shouldn't be able to buy their way in. It should be the fans and the workers that are generating the profits should be the ones receiving the benefits of the stock. And that's where I think the socialism comes in, or humanism, or societism, where the people like me being a loyal Apple customer, and I buy only Apple and I spend a lot of money, get a new phone all the time. Dude, I should be invested in Apple stock. I should be, when Apple prospers, I should be making some of that money for having supported them by buying their products for 20 fucking years. And you know, but I don't. I support their products and am a loyal customer for 20 years, and I don't get shit. And then some rich kid buys a bunch of Apple stock and he gets dividends for life. And maybe he uses Android. You know what I mean? Like, dude, fuck off, bro. That's not cool, man. Right? I don't think that's cool, guys. I have a real problem with that. Okay? With the stock market and with people being able to buy stock and then the company becomes centered around increasing their stock value at the disparagement of the workers who are generating all of the value. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. If we don't buy the products, they don't have any stock value. But when we buy products or when we go to work and we generate massive amounts of stock value, they don't give us any of it. They get to keep it all, dude. You know, they get to keep it all, and we generate it all. We make it all, they keep it all, and then they tell us you're not working hard enough, or you're not ingenious enough, or you're not thankful that we've given you this exploitative, backbreaking job with healthcare that's going to deny your claim, so you're going to end up dead. And then if you act out or get violent or even raise your voice, we're going to tell you that you're bad and you're weak, right? Because, you know, dude, I think that's bullshit, okay? And let me just tell you, I think one of the problems that governments are having now that maybe they don't realize is because of the internet and because of people realizing the extreme violence that exists in this corporate capitalism out of control, the younger generations are over it, boss. The younger generations are over it, okay? They are over it, boss. Don't support pro sports? No, I'm a season ticket holder with the Raiders, boss. Okay? I am a season ticket holder with my favorite team, and I have, you know, the NFL package on YouTube TV, and I have the MLB TV. Like, I have plenty of sports packages. I am exploited and manipulated, and I have a bunch of hats and jerseys. Okay, I am as guilty as the next guy, right? I am deeply intertwined. But what I am not a Cowboys fan, dude. I am not. I'm a Raiders fan, and I'm a Mariners fan, and I like the Mets too because they were on that big losing streak. So I'll vote for any underdog, dude. I've always liked the Mets, though. They have a good uniform, and their stadium is like in Queens. They go off, dude. The Mets have just a history, boss. They do. They have those real cool old school like 1930s baseball looking uniforms. And when they're 12-game losing streak or whatever, 11-game losing streak. Dude, Silver Linings Playbook is one of the greatest movies. I love that. I used to have a great Detroit Tigers. I had a Detroit Tigers jersey t-shirt with the gray sleeves. That was amazing and original, but I gave it away. I gave it away to a girl who was a big fan of the Detroit Tigers. She was a customer in my bar from Detroit. And when I quit that bar, I gave her the fucking shirt because she loved them so much, and I knew that she would wear it till the end of time. So I gave it away. But I was, what was I saying? I was saying that I don't know, dude. I just think we need a revamp of our society, dude. I think we do. I think we need a revamp, boss. All right, let's look at this Laura Loomer thing. All right. And then we're going to I want to look at a little bit of the Laura Loomer thing, her judgment with Bill Maher, because it's going to be juicy. And then we're going to go. I'm going to go make some videos, dude. Been losing Mets for life, dude. So, dude, the hats I have, you ready? So I have a Jets hat. I have a couple Raiders hats. I have a Dodgers, New Orleans, whatever the hockey team is. I don't even know the name of the team, but it says NOLA. I have a White Sox Southside hat and jersey. I have a Mets hat. I have a San Francisco Giants hat, and I have a Mariners hat, right? And then I have a Yankees hat, but I don't wear the Yankees hat anymore because they put Charlie Kirk on that billboard. So I love New York and I still like the Yankees, but I have a complicated relationship. Yeah, New Orleans, don't they have a hockey team or is it a basketball team? It's Penguins? Is it a Penguins? Something? I think, is it New Orleans? Something? It's something. The NOLA hat, they're like purple and green or whatever. What sports team is that? I don't even know the name of the team, dude. It is, or the Pelicans. Oh, no. Oh, I guess it's an NBA team. All right, it's the Pelicans. It's basketball. See, I don't even know what sport it is, bro. Dude, right? I wear that hat and I don't even know the fucking sport, dude. Right? I just like the cities. I get the hats because I like the cities, right? I have a really special, like New Orleans and New York and San Francisco and Seattle are very special cities, right? Some of them I had girlfriends in when I was on tour. Some of them were, I've just visited a lot. So I buy the baseball hats because of the cities, right? I have a Jets hat too, right? So yeah, thank you though, the Pelicans. Okay. All right. I thought it was hockey, but I guess it's basketball. Dude, let's go. Oh shit. But I have cities that I love. Dude, it's from the touring. I spent a lot of time, right, with the cities, and then it's the color, right? Let's go, baby. This one happens to go good with this shirt, actually. I like to accessorize. But I don't like, that's though what's confusing though, guys. Can I tell you, I do get into a little bit of a pickle though, when I will see people out on the street and they'll see the hat and be like, yo, dude, oh, you're a Giants fan. And I'm like, no, actually, I'm a Mariners fan. And they're like, dude, you're a Mariners fan wearing a Giants hat? And I'm like, yeah, I like San Francisco, loyal to no one. I'm sorry. When it comes to cities and sports teams, I am loyal to no one, okay? Except the Raiders, okay? I won't wear another football hat other than the Raiders. The Raiders are my loyalty. I only wear one NFL football hat because I've been a Raiders fan since the 70s. I'm a season ticket holder, so I don't have any other football hats. But baseball, I just started following, so I'm a baseball kind of team slut, right? But football is just the Raiders. I am loyal in football. But for now, that could change, okay? But all right, there you go. Not that you needed to know that about me. But anyway, to go back to the Polymarket shit, all right, to go back to the Polymarket stuff, guys, whatever, touching base on the whole corporate stealing and shit is I think like, I don't like the fact that our now capitalism, okay, capitalism used to be insider trading to it feels like new technology is creating more insider trading, okay? I'm serious. Crypto is a great example, guys. I know if you trade crypto, you buy crypto, you may make a little money, but you know who makes the money on crypto, guys? The guys who created the fucking coins. Those are the guys who make the money. The guys who know when those dips and sell-offs are going to happen. Those are the guy making the money. And the exchanges. But I'm saying the tech bros that actually created Ethereum and the tech bros that started the Bitcoin shit or that start these little shit coins, those are the guys who made all the profits. The guys who started Doge when it was like a fraction of a penny, and then Elon elevates Doge, and then they cash out and they're fucking billionaire. But you're never going to be a billionaire trading that shit. Only the tech bros and the insiders will. And that's what I'm talking about. Is like crypto is an insiders. Now Polymarket and 𝗙cie are even more insider. It's like every new invention is a way for insider capitalists to loot more of the retail level consumers. The stock market is looting the retail level. All of these markets are just looting the retail level people. And so it's all of it is a con. Okay? It's all a fucking con, guys. And, it just is. All right. You ready? All right. Let's finish up with Laura Loomer here. All right. And then I got to go, guys. It's getting that time, dude. But so Laura Loomer, I am going to try and get a hold of her deposition. I have not seen the full deposition yet, guys, on Laura Loomer. If you find a link to it or whatever, please put it in Discord. Okay? Jeffrey was in on BTC. I'm sure he was. I'm sure like Epstein was in on Bitcoin and Thiel, all of those guys. Okay? They're all like, I mean, guys, like you may not know this, but Peter Thiel is like, he's the social media guy. Okay? He literally, Peter Thiel, I mean, PayPal, Facebook, like Peter Thiel made Facebook, guys. Okay? I mean, Mark Zuckerberg made it and it became a phenomenon, but it was Peter Thiel's money. It was Peter Thiel's angel investment that made Facebook become a $1 billion like company. Okay? It was entirely Peter Thiel. Okay? He has been the backer behind like all of these tech guys from the very beginning. You know what I mean? But so anyway, let's get back to Laura Loomer here. Again, if you find her deposition, I do want it. I feel like this information is going to be good information, boss. If it's career ending for Laura Loomer, count me in. But she said, this was a couple days ago, 2 days ago, she said, statement on Judge Moody's ruling in my defamation lawsuit against Bill Maher. The ruling today by Judge Moody in favor of Bill Maher following his initial dismissal of Bill Maher's motion to dismiss my defamation lawsuit is both factually and legally wrong. Maher and HBO defamed me per se by publishing that I fucked the president for simply traveling on an airplane to a presidential debate and expressing my adoration for President Trump and his MAGA agenda. The same judge previously denied Maher and HBO's motion to dismiss on this basis. The judge's new premise, which is outrageous, taken from media articles, is that I said I love the president because he's a great president. I hugged him and traveled on President Trump's plane with him and his staff to the presidential debate in 2024 in a professional capacity and as a journalist. For these reasons, the judge said Maher could make an alleged joke that I had fucked Trump. This was no joke, and even if it was legally actionable and has led to continued defamation, threats, and misogynistic and unwanted sexual comments to be made towards me. It is also very disrespectful and defamatory of President Trump and 𝗏𝗏, both of whom I respect greatly. But guys, here's one of the problems, okay? The thing about this that we do have to remember, I know that defamation suits are all the rage with MAGA these days, but guys, you can't really get someone for defamation unless you can actually show harm, okay? Which, you know what I'm saying? Found the deposition, it's in general on Discord. Let's go, Ella. Thank you, boss. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Like, you do have to show some measure of harm. Like, for example, okay, and what's more, I think the thing has to be bona fidely untrue, and I think you have to know it's untrue, okay? Right? You have to know it's untrue, and there's that malice intent, which means if I know that my ex never cheated on me, and then I make up a lie that she cheated on me, and then as a result of that lie, oh, you cheated on him, she gets kicked out of her ministry, then she can sue me for defamation because now I have taken something I know that is factually untrue. I used it with malice to hurt her and she suffered a loss. But like, dude, we're all like color commentators on politics and society. So if I say Laura Loomer fucked Donald Trump, I don't know that she didn't fuck Donald Trump. I mean, I kind of assume she did. And it seems like a lot of people online assume she did. So I'm using other secondhand information that other people are saying she fucked him. So I'm like, yeah, you fucked him. And now I'm making jokes about you fucking him. And like Laura Loomer, you haven't lost your job. Donald Trump hasn't kicked you out of his circle for making up a rumor about this. We haven't seen no bona fide proof that you've never had sex with him. And you've implied a lot that you have this internal pull over him. So like, they're never going to win a defamation on that. I mean, it's the same with Melania and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I can say shit about Melania and Jeffrey Epstein based on Michael Wolff's testimony or Andrew Lowney's book, and she can never fucking sue me and make that shit stick, bro. She could try to threaten me, and maybe, I'll get a lawyer pro bono and we'll go and we'll hash it out to discovery. But and also, dude, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Also, Melania Trump has suffered no actual harm from those Jeffrey Epstein rumors. Dude. So I don't know, dude. This shit is MAGA is all into this defamation shit, but dude, that shit is notoriously hard to prove. Which also, though, when you see how notoriously hard it is to prove and to win, that's when you look at, 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗄 and realize, wow, dude, Donald Trump actually got sacked with that. And so, that's pretty crazy because it's not easy. It is real hard to win defamation, guys. Real hard. Especially if you have proof that it's not true, right? It's like, dude, it's real hard. Okay. So she says, it is beyond the pale for any judge to say that a woman can be accused of having sex with a man and have it be brushed off as a joke just because she proclaimed a platonic love for their politics and leadership style. The ruling is totally dishonest and misogynistic. I am a professional woman who simply traveled as a guest to the presidential debate, and everyone knows Bill Maher was a strong supporter of Kamala Harris and rabidly anti-Trump at the time he made these defamatory comments about me. This wasn't a joke. He was trying to further the election of Kamala Harris and smear my reputation when I have always been highly professional in my support of Donald Trump. But see, this is the problem. You ready? Dude, Laura Loomer, Miss Loomer, okay? Larry, whatever you want to be called. Look at me right here. You have never been professional. You are the most unprofessional motherfucker on the internet, okay? Screaming that God hates you, openly using slurs and being inflammatory and making up lies and burning down people's reputation based on lies like Laura Loomer. Fuck you, boss. Fuck you. You have never been professional, and that's why you're never going to win in court. You know what I'm saying? You are never going to win in court, Laura Loomer. I'm sorry, because you are so unprofessional. You're a hack, dude. Give me a fucking break, boss. All right? Give me a fucking break, dude. Peace out, Sam. Thank you, boss. All right. She says this judgment should be reversed on appeal either at the 11th Circuit or at the Supreme Court if necessary. Dude, she wants to take her defamation case to the Supreme Court. Dude, Laura Loomer. Dude, that alone makes me think she fucked Trump. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she thinks the Supreme Court needs to hear her fucking defamation case. Dude, get over yourself, weirdo. It is truly an attack on women and the truth. Dude, this is great. You're just not that important. There it is, dude. She is, somebody said she's a political tumor. That is a great way of putting it, man. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. All right, you ready? So, dude, what is this? It says Lauren 𝗏𝗏𝗏, okay? She is a right-winger, too, an America Firster. Oh, the died suddenly person. What a weirdo. See, even the right-wingers hate Laura Loomer, okay? They do. She says, so the judge absolutely destroyed Loomer in her frivolous lawsuit against Bill Maher. Here are the main takeaways. Loomer was such a moron that she provided 39 tweets Bill Maher was actually able to use in his defense because they were posted before his episode aired, accusing Laura of having relations with Trump. The judge stated that Loomer was so unappealing and untouchable that no one would have been convinced by Bill Maher that the two had sex when he made the joke. Oh, so the judge was like, nobody believed the joke. Oh, dude, that's harsh. Based on Loomer's own tweets about Trump warming her hands when they were cold and saying, I love you to each other, that Bill Maher couldn't have acted in malice when suggesting that there was some kind of weird sexual attraction there. I mean, to me, it's believable, dude. Trump said they let him do it, and, you know, because he can do anything, right? And then Loomer couldn't get a single person, not even her own father, to testify in her defense. Not a single friend or colleague was willing to testify that they were adversely moved or convinced by Maher's joke about her having sexual relations with Trump. Oh my God, dude. That means she couldn't get anyone. She couldn't get anyone to testify. That's so brutal. And Mayflower Kid, what is this topic? This topic is generally the destruction of MAGA. Okay? Like, you can watch anyone, you know, like every content creator covers the news. I cover the news, but am also centered around the destruction of the MAGA movement and bringing MAGA influencers to their knees. If you're looking at the general overall topic, it is about destroying their movement and the influencers that make it up. All right, so Loomer refused to release her financial and tax information. Oh, look at that, guys. She wouldn't release her financial and tax info. She wanted to hide who's funding her. That is a big one, guys. Right? That's a big one. And guys, let me just tell you, you ready for this? Hear me out on this. If you guys are ever worried about getting sued by any of these left-wing influencers, this is the part right here, guys. You will never get sued by 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃, by 𝗤𝗏, by Loomer, right? I mean, they might try to bully you or whatever, Melania, they're never going to fucking sue you because they don't want to put this shit on the record. Okay? Because all of them are funded. Okay? They're funded. If you knew who was funding Nick 𝗤𝗏 and 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃, nobody, even MAGA, would be disbelieving their shit. If you saw who was funding these people, you would realize the entire right wing is one funnel. There's one funnel funding all of these motherfuckers, bro. All of them. And then she said the financial information she did disclose in verbal testimony, Loomer stated that she actually had an increase in income after the Bill Maher episode aired. Ironically, this is around the same time she took off with the $60,000 advance that this woman paid her. Oh, shit. Putting her at a significant net positive and therefore losing her case for damages. So, dude, this woman paid Lauren 𝗏𝗏𝗏 paid Laura Loomer a $60,000 advance. I bet she got nothing for that money. Dude, who would give Laura Loomer money, dude? There's no fucking way I would give this crazy woman money. You have to be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a fucking idiot to like give this woman money. Dude, she's insane. Oh shit. right? Dude, look at though, even Roger Stone, you ready? So even like Trump's acolytes are shitting on Loomer, dude. I not only appeared on the pilot for Maher's Politically Incorrect, I've also appeared twice on his more recent show. The man is adult and not even faintly amusing without a platoon of comedy writers. Truly a self-important jerk-off. Loomer herself spread the rumors of her giving head to the president, a vile lie, and then filed a half-assed lawsuit against Maher to ensure that the rumor got wider circulation. Her narcissistic personality and insistence she's never wrong finally wore me out. I can affirmatively say that I will never appear on Loomer Unleashed again. Dude, oh my God, dude, they're cooking her. Dude, even the Trump allies. Oh shit, bro. This is crazy, right? This is crazy. Like, I really think, guys, Loomer, I think we're going to see her like fall. She's about to get toppled. Yeah, they do suck. They're all like, guys, there are no loyalties here except ultimately to Trump. But you know how like Kristi Noem got too big and then they outed her husband and then they removed her, right? Like I'm telling you right now, I think the Trump camp outed Kristi Noem's husband to remind her that we removed you and you better keep your mouth shut. And so Kristi Noem is never going to say anything again. She's going to disappear into South America with Corey Lewandowski and get piped for the rest of the time, and she will be quiet. And I think they're going to do this shit to Loomer too. They used Loomer as an attack dog, but now they're going to sell her off, dude. They're going to sell off the stock, and they are going to bury her, and they're going to sink her ass. And she's going to be left with nothing. And this is everybody in Trump's orbit ends up with this, dude. They're going to, dude, and like even Bill Maher, they're going to like let him go because he's, you know, not insane, right? It is, yeah. Yeah, Trump is going to cut Loomer off and make sure that she doesn't damage his, like, you know, his clout, right? Oh my God, dude. Right? This is fucking crazy. Oh shit, dude. All right. So I'm gonna look over the deposition and see if I can find some juicy shit in there to help detonate this shit. But guys, dude, this is our government right now. Like, oh my God. Like, we're in so deep, dude. Okay, we are in deep, boss. Right? We are in deep. We are. Dude. She is vile. Okay? You did perfect. Thank you, Ella. Appreciate that. All right, you guys ready for a dance party? I heard there's a dance party. Some people bought a dance party, boss. Okay, so I'm about to deliver. Okay, let's fucking go. Yeah, dude, Loomer. I mean, I think she just thought she had this big power that she did not have, right? And she's going down now. Oops, wrong button. There we go. I'd like to pay my respects to the Second Amendment. Oh, dude. Dude, see, you know what's fucked up about this, though, guys? And again, I don't, you know, I know I'm not making excuses for Laura Loomer, okay? All right? So, and no, you cannot request the music. We do the same song. You can't do copywritten shit on YouTube. So we have a process. But I'm gonna turn the lights on for this real quick because I do I want to say this to the camera before I go into dance mode. I'll do this from my knees here. But I'm not defending Laura Loomer because she is trash, okay? She is absolute trash. No bones about it. But I do want to point out about how Laura Loomer and Charlie Kirk are both like cautionary tales. And you know, Benny Johnson and all of these people that are selling their souls for Trump should learn this fucking lesson, because you can die for the cause. Charlie Kirk got Trump elected and then somebody shot him. And Trump was like, you see my ballroom? He was over it. He was done. And now he's feeling up his wife and like got her in bed with Netanyahu, and they're moved on. They don't give a shit. No tears fell for Charlie from Trump or any of the people that Charlie put in power. Charlie Kirk put them in power, and then he's dead, and they carry on. And anybody attached to who covers for them on Epstein or Laura Loomer, the same shit. Dude, they will bury you, end you, release your drivel, like end your life. And they won't give two fucking shits. And so all of these people that are lining up to like grift and to take the fall for these guys, you should do better. You deserve better. Even if you're a fucking loser, you deserve better than Donald Trump. Fuck that guy. Fucking pant shitter. Oh, I just shit my pants. Dude, fuck them. Dude, yeah, they don't care, dude. No care. Oh. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh. All right. You ready? Dude, somebody dropped a dono there, too. Dude, 𝗙𝗍𝗘𝗆𝗆, let's go. Party on. Let's go. I will lost. Oh, let's go. One more. Oh, dude. Elon. Dude, Elon, I just fucking knocked him down with my ass, bro. Let's go. All right, here we go, baby. It's time for a little deja vu. Come on, baby.
Slowly this feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy, an notion that I will make it out somehow.
What you thought you couldn't think today, the wonder familiar face, made of pieces that shake. I've had one too many of them, so now we pretend. Let's go! The reptile is watching. I don't know what that means. I do love reptiles, though. I have a leopard gecko. He's like 23 years old.
Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. We drift to the edge. To the edge. We drift to the edge. Just like snow castle. To the edge. To the edge. The edge. Thank you, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of your head. Fuck Donald Trump. Keep that shit together, guys. We got a long way to go. Good night. I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.